Sue Guzman, Fox News. The Trump administration is not making plans for the return of an MS-13 gang-affiliated migrant who was deported to El Salvador. Details from Fox's Jared Halpern.
Attorney General Pam Bondi says a Supreme Court order last week requires the administration only to facilitate, if El Salvador asks, the return of Kilmar Abrego Garcia.
Meaning provide a plane.
In an Oval Office meeting with President Trump and cabinet secretaries, El Salvador's President Nayib Bukele says that won't happen.
The question is preposterous. How can I smuggle a terrorist into the United States? I don't have the power to return him to the United States.
An immigration court shielded Abrego Garcia from deportation back to El Salvador. The Trump administration says the migrant was in the U.S. illegally and was a member of the MS-13 gang. Attorneys for Abrego Garcia say he is not a gang member. At the White House, Jared Halpern, Fox News.
A judge is blocking President Trump from revoking the legal status of more than 530,000 migrants who flew into the U.S. under a Biden administration program. These migrants coming to the U.S. from Cuba, Haiti, Nicaragua, and Venezuela under Biden's controversial CHNV program. And at the border, a long sliver of federal land along the U.S.-Mexico border will now be controlled by the U.S. Army. President Trump turning it over to the Department of Defense. The move could allow troops to detain any trespassers, including migrants. And Ukrainian President Zelensky calling for a global response to the latest missile strike by the Kremlin, and President Trump reacted to Zelensky's latest request for weapons.
Oh, I don't know. He's always looking to purchase missiles, you know. He's against... Listen, when you start a war, you got to know that you can win the war, right? You don't start a war against somebody that's 20 times your size and then hope that people give you some missiles.
America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
The Senate passes the property tax bill. You have a clear radar, and it's 48 degrees in downtown Indianapolis. Your high today is 57. I'm Ryan Hedrick. Here's what's trending at 6:02. The Indiana Senate approved the property tax bill early this morning with a 27-22 vote. Senate Bill 1, as it's known, now heads to the governor's desk, and he says he plans to sign it. Some political leaders say the bill will lower property taxes for homeowners, farmers, and businesses, but also what it does, it reduces the funding for traditional public schools and requires them to share referendum dollars with charter schools. Educators and community members say they're concerned about its impact on school budgets. Democrats proposed about 60 amendments, but none were accepted. Senate Minority Leader Shelley Yoder called this a missed opportunity to address community concerns. A Frankfort high school teacher is in trouble over a request on Snapchat, says the Clinton County prosecutor. Chris Davis has that story.
The accusation was made by a 17-year-old student against Drew Akridge, a 27-year-old math teacher and assistant varsity football coach. The probable cause document shown to Wish TV says that Akridge sent a Snapchat video of himself and then requested an explicit video in return. The student came forward after a cyber awareness presentation April 4th and was interviewed by police April 11th. Akridge was arrested Monday on 2 low-level felony counts of dissemination of material harmful to a minor and an attempt to possess child pornography. Chris Davis, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
The average price for gas across the Hoosier State is $3.07. That's down 18 cents from where it was last week at this time. And the Indiana Pacers are in the playoffs. They take on the Milwaukee Bucks at Gainbridge Fieldhouse in game number 1 Saturday at 1 o'clock. I'm Ryan Hedrick. On the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com. Traffic and weather together in 1 minute. It's 6:04.
Tired of hard water stains, dry skin, or smelly water? Well water or city water, C&J gives you softer water, cleaner drinking water, and no more taste or odor issues. Thanks to a high-efficiency water softener, advanced water treatment, and reverse osmosis systems. Better water starts today with C&J. Make every drop in your home pure, fresh, and worry-free. Best prices of the year right now at C&J's Well Water Bundles and City Water Bundles. C&J for great systems, great people too. 317-733-SOFT.
That's are us. When dreams don't get in, that's are us. Right Right now, get $1,500 off a shower or tub replacement or $3,000 off a full bathroom remodel, plus low to no monthly payments. Call 765-545-BATH to schedule your free estimate or go to bathsrus.com. 765-545-BATH.
That's our us. When dreams sunk in, that's our us.
All right, Southside crash, eastbound 465 Harding Street. After the I-69 interchange, and the left lane is blocked. Traffic backed up for about a mile and a 13-minute delay. Westbound 70 into the north split just fine at the moment if you're coming from 465 on the east side to north split action. It looks like about 5 minutes here at the moment. No delays. Traffic sponsored by Rapid Radios. Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage for a limited time. Go to rapidradios.com now for 60% off and free UPS shipping. Add code RADIO and get an extra 5% off. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Marcus Bailey, Wish TV meteorologist. What's going on?
Hey, Tony, good morning. It's going to be a bit cooler here as we go through your Tuesday. Partly to mostly cloudy, still a little blustery, wind gusts around 30 miles per hour. It's going to make it feel pretty chilly through the afternoon. Today's high, 55. We do have a frost advisory in place tonight. We're partly cloudy. We'll calm the winds a bit. We'll dip down to a low of 37 and some patchy frost, likely in some outlying areas. Wednesday should be better despite the colder start. Sunny skies, a high of 60. Thursday, partly cloudy, should be dry during the day and closer to average, a high of 65. Friday, mostly cloudy, very warm, little windy, and storm chances late. Friday's high near 80.
80?
Yeah.
So we're like, spring is not necessary now.
Just jump right to summer and humid and all that. Yeah. I don't think it's going to be that warm for that long, but definitely could be one of the warmer days we've had in a while.
It's like Jim Gaffigan describing a Hot Pocket. How is it outside? Ice cold. Inside, lava hot.
That's right. That's right. That's exactly what it is.
That's right. That's a Gaffigan poll before 6:30. Try and get that on Bob and Tom. That's not happening.
That's right. That's impressive.
Not the first time I've been told I'm impressive by my Hot Pocket knowledge.
I mean, you're all over it this early in the morning. Unrivaled, I think is what they say.
To quote Michael Scott, that's what she said. That's Marcus Bailey.
We'll see ya.
Of Wish TV. That's right. A Hot Pocket poll and an Office poll. Also, never watched The Office. I'm not sure what the hoopla was all about. That's right. That's my unpopular opinion of the day. 47 degrees in the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. The time is 6:08.
This hour on 93 WIBC is powered by Damon's Garden Company South on Emerson Avenue.
So the teachers protested. That was cute. No, good on you. Good on you. You closed schools in areas so you can go protest, so you can have the maximum amount of annoyance to parents. No. We are definitely on your side. Sure. Whatever you say. Tony Katz, 93 WIBC. Good morning. They didn't want Senate Bill 1 to pass. That's the property tax bill. They didn't want Senate Bill 518, the story over there at Fox 59. That would require public schools and eligible schools to share property taxes. But it's about the student, don't you know? No, it is. We believe you. Sure. We believe you, teachers. The Indiana Democratic Party wrote, here's an idea. Teachers wouldn't have to take one day to go to the State House if the Republican supermajority just fully funded public education and gave kids the resources to succeed. Would you stop it already? Would you stop it? I argue that I think Indiana should pay teachers more than any other state in the country if we're allowed to fire the bad teachers. You with me, Indiana Democratic Party? Yes or no? I'm going to argue you're not, because what you're interested in is just giving money to the systems. Now I'm interested in giving the money to the students. So I wrote, better idea. Let the money follow the student and not the systems. End the teachers' unions and anything related to tenure. Recognize the key role of parents in their kids' education. Then let's create the best possible education opportunities possible. Let's create the best education opportunities possible in Indiana and pay good teachers what they're worth and fire the bad teachers today. That's not what you're interested in. And you went to the State House and screamed and yelled and took the day off from educating our kids, where you're told we're not even allowed to have a say. Now we can't have a say in the days you don't show up. Also, your systems can get more money. Honestly, I don't care if your systems go broke, and I don't care if you cry. Break your systems. Your systems stink. Let's change the focus. Then we could do great things. By the way, Senate Bill 1, the property tax bill, passed last night, or early this morning. 27-22 vote. Governor Braun is scheduled to be with us at 8:15. There will be questions. There will definitely be questions. As for the Indiana Democratic Party, it's like you want to lose to these Republicans. And gosh, they're so dang beatable, too. Tony Katz, 93 WIBC. Good morning.
This is Gary Dick. Workers on strike at an Indiana casino at 6:32. Brought to you by Indiana Wesleyan University's AI-powered Executive MBA, designed for forward-thinking leaders. Learn more at discovertheway.com.
Hey, it's Matt Bear. Good morning. Weather is always cranky in Indiana during the springtime, just all over the place. Call Cochran Exteriors right now. Beat the spring rush and fortify your home against the elements. Roofing, siding, windows, doors, gutters, and more. My friends at Cochran Exteriors will give you a free consultation with options to meet your budget, and all without the high pressure or gimmicky sales tactics. Help your home find the fountain of roof. Schedule today by visiting CochranExteriors.com. That's CochranExteriors.com.
Hey, it's Rob for Universal Windows Direct. If spring cleaning has you thinking about spring upgrading, this is the month to do it. Freshen up your home's look, boost your energy efficiency, and save big during Universal Windows Direct's Spring Home Improvement event. Right now, it's their classic fan favorite offer: buy 2 windows, get 2 free, no limit. And for a limited time, Universal Windows Direct is also offering no interest until 2030. That's right, upgrade your home today and don't pay a cent in interest for 6 whole years. And here's the real spring surprise. Get a bonus $500 off your home improvement project. There's never been a better time to bundle and save with Universal Windows Direct. Some restrictions may apply, so call today, 317-659-7574. 317-659-7574. Get all the information and schedule your totally free in-home estimate. And see everything for yourself on the web, universalwindowsdirect.com, universalwindowsdirect.com. Tell them Rob sent you.
When it comes to managed network services and IT support, Applied Innovation is at the top of the list for these Applied Innovation customers. Sean Carnahan, Sales Manager for Adventure Homes.
They do all of our computers, so they take care of all of our issues, anything that comes up with our servers, any tech support, software we need, any equipment we need.
Eric Lane, Director of Information Technology for Raleigh Williams Paint Spot.
Applied Innovation has been very proactive, and they've laid out a plan for here is what we look like today, and here's what we want to look like in 18 months and then going forward. So it's the long-term vision that they have that other companies didn't.
Ashley Crane, IT Director for Belmont Beverage.
They're just a really great company that has a lot to offer to a small IT team like ourselves.
Applied Innovation, office technology made simple, backed by a partner you can trust. Call Applied Innovation today, 800-521-0983, or visit appliedinnovation.com.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation and a regular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduce stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop taking prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. It may increase your stroke risk. Eliquis can cause serious and in rare cases fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or take longer for bleeding to stop. A spinal injection while on Eliquis increases risk of blood clots, which may cause paralysis, the inability to move. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding, unusual bruising, or tingling, numbness, or muscle weakness. Medications such as aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners may increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
Traffic on the 5s and Matt Bear, what do you know?
Yeah, Tony, Southside crash. Eastbound 465 at Harding. Blocking the left lane. Stop and go traffic back to I-69. Delay 10 minutes. Hendricks County. Westbound 70. Crash at the Hendricks-Morgan County line. That's between State Road 267 and State Road 39. And the right lane is blocked. And traffic right now backed up for about a half a mile. Traffic sponsored by Rapid Radios. Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com now for 60% off and free UPS shipping at code radio and get an extra 5% off. I'm Matt Bear on the 5s at WIBC Traffic.
47 degrees in the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. The time is 6:16.
Are you tired of high cable TV rates? Sign up for Dish today and get a $500 bonus offer while supplies last. Plus, lock in your price for 2 years guaranteed. Call All American Dish, your Dish authorized retailer now.
800-296-1251. 800-296-1251. That's 800-296-1251. Offers require credit qualification, 24-month commitment, early termination fee, and e-auto pay. Restrictions apply. Call for details.
The Attorney General's Unclaimed Property Division has over $800 million just waiting to be claimed. Text MONEY to 46220 or visit indianaunclaimed.gov to claim yours today.
Inside Indiana Business Radio, the news you need to get ahead. Indiana's business news leader, weekdays at 6:32 a.m. and 5:56 p.m. on WIBC.
Let me tell you how it will be. There's one for you,
Tax Day. My old nemesis. Tony Katz, 93 WIBC. Good morning. Good to be with you. You have to pay your taxes. You have to get that done. You may write a check. You may get something back. I do not know. As for me, I'd rather not talk about it. It's still all so upsetting. Tony Katz, 93 WIBC. Good morning. Good to be with you. Scott Bessent saying that everything's moving quickly with our trading partners. Oh, it's super duper awesome quick.
The president called Liberation Day, and you said you weren't part of the negotiations. Now you're leading them. What's changed in these past 12 days?
No. What I said was I didn't construct the actual
tariff rates.
The tariff rates. I've always been part of the tariff policy. I had been focusing on tax. Maybe you want to talk about that later. That's going very well. And now with the trade negotiations, I'm going to be part of that, and the president has hit a 90-day pause button, and we are moving quickly with many of our most important trading partners. So we had Vietnam in last week. We had Japanese in on Wednesday, South Korea next week. So it's going to move fast. And but the important thing for your viewers to know is we're setting up a process, and we are going to run that process. It's going to be orderly. And at the end of the day, especially for the most important trading partners, the president's going to be involved.
I would have no doubt that at the end, the president's going to look at that and say, yeah, or, we can get more. right? He's not going to know. He's not going to say, here's how we're going to do it. We can get more. Send everybody back to the table. I think that all depends on how it's going to look. But there's a reason that it's Vietnam and South Korea and Japan first. Apply more pressure to China, which could have been done without tariffs, but we're in it now. Now show the deals. Don't delay. Show the deals. Speaking of China, I had just responded to a post from Senator Banks. China owns 384,000 acres of American farmland. That number should be zero in Indiana and across America. Food security is national security. Well, absolutely true. But it's bigger than that, Senator. Much bigger than that. No Chinese national should be allowed to own land anywhere in the U.S. No farmland, no condos, nothing. Nor should they be allowed to own businesses in the U.S. And we could discuss a change to this policy when the CCP, the Communist Chinese Party, the Chinese Communist Party, is no longer in power in China. That's what has to happen. You have to end the ability for anybody associated with the Communist Party, which is any Chinese national, from owning land in the U.S. or owning a business in the U.S. And if you say to me, Tony, are you talking about forced divestment? Yes. As a matter of national security, yes. Let me give you the reasons why. Allow me to bring receipts. China recruiting current former U.S. government officials as spies.
Oh, God!
That's happening. Washington Times, with the reporting, China is utilizing consulting firms, headhunters, think tanks to recruit current and former U.S. officials. This, according to a federal counter-spy unit. This from the National Counterintelligence and Security Center. Now, if that wants to get challenged, I'm totally fine with it being challenged. Show me where it's not happening. The FBI putting out on social media. China and other foreign intelligence entities are targeting former and current U.S. government employees on social and professional networking sites. Foreign intelligence entities, particularly those in China, are targeting current and former U.S. government employees for recruitment by posing as consulting firms, corporate headhunters, think tanks, and other entities on social and professional networking sites. Did I say that twice? Did I read that twice by mistake? I didn't mean to. The moral of the story here is, are these people that you have a lovely relationship with and a ton of trust and everything's fine? Well, you can't not sell them land, Tony. The Constitution is not a suicide pact. But it's nice to see people who are in favor of America's downfall all of a sudden textualists in favor of the Constitution. Pass the legislation. No land ownership, no business ownership by Chinese nationals. So the post from Senator Braun, from Senator Banks, I like Banks. But now I want to see some action. Let's go. Is there a piece of legislation, Senator? And you know they're going to read this. Because they're gonna find. Oh, Tony was talking about you today. Let's listen to what it was. Who am I kidding? They have somebody listening every day. Everybody does. Let's see the piece of legislation. Enough. No land ownership. None. Meanwhile, the Chinese and the Russians working hand in hand to threaten Starlink. That is Elon's wireless satellite internet service, where you see all the satellites moving in unison across the sky, and you're like, we're being invaded, or it's Galaga, or Centipede. It's just Elon, just doing a thing, right there. The threat is pretty intense. The reason being that these satellites are utilized for military use in Ukraine. Why is the threat coming from China, though? Oh, we know why. We'll just leave it there. The report was published last week by a group called the Secure World Foundation, a think tank, a nonpartisan policy think tank. And this has to do with space being the next frontier and how people are engaging with it, engaging counter proposals to it, counter security measures, all sorts of things. If you don't want your enemy to be able to communicate, you may target their satellites. As for this threat, well, this goes into, when it comes to Ukraine, something that President Trump said in the Oval yesterday, which was not correct. Ukraine did not start the war with Russia. You can argue that Ukraine's a terrible country. Feel free. But the idea of invasion, starting the war, that was Putin. And I don't know why Trump said it. That is just not the case. I am curious to see where they come back to this. They didn't start the war. I think for Trump, he argues that everybody's guilty. Russia's guilty, Ukraine's guilty, Biden's guilty, everybody's guilty. I think that is the way he washes his hands of it. And he's not 1,000% wrong in that posture. But don't say this is all about Ukraine. It's just not. No matter how you want to handle the situation, which is getting more and more unhandleable. Who knows? That could change tomorrow. You can't you can't say that this was Ukraine's fault. They started this. That's just, that dog won't hunt. Matt Bear has got traffic. What's up, Matthew?
Yeah, Tony, Southside crash, eastbound 465 at Harding Street. The left lane is blocked, and we are delayed for about 11 minutes. Crash Hendricks County, westbound 70 at the Hendricks-Morgan County line, or about 4 miles past State Road 267. It's blocking the right lane with traffic. No delay here at the moment, but a little bit of a slowdown as you make your way through that crash site. Please be safe this morning. Traffic sponsored by Sullivan Hardware and Garden. This week at Sullivan Hardware and Garden, get 30% off all patio furniture, wicker, Berlin Gardens, polycast, aluminum, teak, and more. I'm Matt Bear on the 5s at WIBC Traffic.
Hey, this is Rob.
And this is Casey.
Did I survive my trip to see the angry red-shirted teachers at the State House?
Find out Tuesday, 9 until noon on 93 WIBC.
Hi, I'm Charlie Comer, owner of Comer & Cross Concrete Floors. If you're even thinking about a new garage floor, I promise you will love your new Comer & Cross garage floor more than any home improvement you do. Every single day for years to come. That's why so many builders use Comer & Cross. And Comer & Cross patios look way better than a new one at a fraction of the cost. Comer & Cross garage floors and patios are the gold standard. Guaranteed to never chip, crack, or show tire lift like epoxy or paint ever. And we make it so easy. We are all courteous uniform pros. We have the equipment and know-how to fix your concrete perfectly before applying your gleaming, new, proprietary Comer & Cross finish. We even take your stuff out for you. For your quick and easy, no sales pressure estimate, please call us right now at 1-800-NEW-FLOOR. That's 1-800-NEW-FLOOR. Or go to COMERcross.com.
Well, given the troubles with the stock market today, your Social Security income becomes a lot more important in retirement. And that's why it's critical you make a smart decision and don't leave any money on the table. Learn how you can squeeze every nickel out of your benefits with a free Social Security analysis from Bill Demery, your retirement guy.
Bill Demery knows Social Security. He's done it for thousands of people, and he's my retirement guy. This analysis tells you how and when you could get the most income from Social Security while considering your taxes, spousal benefits, even your Medicare premiums. So if you've saved more than $200,000 and have not yet filed for Social Security, schedule that free analysis right now by calling Bill Demery. 317-648-5120. 317-648-5120. It's a free analysis. Just call 317-648-5120.
Did you know Indiana has a critical shortage of high school referees?
It's causing our games to be canceled or understaffed, and we need your help. I'm Greer Swim from Fishers High School.
And I'm Cooper Allen from Shenandoah High School. We need you so we can keep playing our favorite sports.
So our opportunities to learn aren't limited.
So our experience in high school sports is everything it should be.
With your help, we can make sure we have enough officials for every game.
And student athletes around the state always have the chance to grow through high school sports.
Are you game? Sign up as a high school official in your community today.
I'm IHSAA Commissioner Paul Neidig. High school sports can't happen without high school officials. Help us fill an urgent need in our state so games aren't canceled or understaffed. Visit ihsaa.org to become an official today. This is protecting high school sports. This is serving your community. This is your IHSAA.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
The governor says he'll sign the property tax bill. Your radar is clear in downtown Indianapolis where it's 48 degrees. Your high today, 54. I'm Ryan Hedrick for Window Nation. Here's what's trending at 6:30.
Since July, we've been talking about relief. We all are taxpayers in here. Most all of us have seen increases in our residential homestead taxes.
That's Republican State Senator Scott Baldwin speaking at the State House early this morning.
So it's no surprise that taxpayers are demanding relief.
The Indiana Senate passed the property tax bill after a marathon session. 27-22 Senate Bill 1 now heads to Governor Mike Braun's desk, and he says he'll sign it. Indiana State Police are looking into a crash that killed a man after a pursuit that started in Henry County Monday night. The crash happened right before 10 o'clock and ended at the intersection of East Washington Street and North Mithofer Road. That intersection was closed down for several hours. It has since reopened. The man who cops say tried to burn down Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro's mansion with him in it was in court Monday.
Pennsylvania State Police say 38-year-old Cody Ballmer turned himself in hours after he allegedly scaled perimeter fencing, broke in, and firebombed the governor's mansion in Harrisburg using Molotov cocktails. Court documents reveal the suspect allegedly had a hatred for the governor, that the state foreclosed on his property. At the White House Monday, President Trump saying,
"The attacker basically wasn't a fan of anybody. It's probably just a whack job."
That's Fox's Jeff Manasso reporting. The Keystone Oil Pipeline is running again. The pipeline's operator stopped the system last week after a spill in North Dakota, but restarted things yesterday. An estimated 147,000 gallons of oil were spilled in the incident. I'm Ryan Hedrick on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com. Traffic, weather, and sports together in 3 minutes at 6:32.
This is Inside the Indiana Business Radio. I'm Gary Dick. Over 140 union workers at Caesars Southern Indiana Hotel and Casino are on strike. Teamsters Local 89 says the walkout comes after the company failed to offer a fair contract that matches its record-breaking profits. In a statement, Caesars Southern Indiana says it remains committed to the collective bargaining process and continues to negotiate in good faith with the union. This month marks the one-year anniversary for the Terre Haute Casino Resort, which was one of several major developments in Terre Haute in 2024. Mayor Brandon Sackman.
We're using that gaming revenue, right, the tax off when you're gambling and playing, to increase our sidewalk inventory, pave more streets, demo condemn homes, build a new YMCA or partially fund, invest in our Deming Park pool, which is a huge component of our quality of life See You in Terre Haute plan.
Look for South Bend International Airport to cut the ribbon today on its new consolidated quick turnaround facility. It's a $7.3 million facility designed to allow the airport's rental car companies to operate more efficiently. From the state's #1 source for Indiana business news, you're listening to Inside Indiana Business Radio.
At Indiana University, we're undaunted by challenge. We take the lead. We don't follow the crowd. Embracing the future with creativity and bravery. Unapologetically optimistic. Equipped with the knowledge and intention to change the world. Because bold is who we are. 9 campuses, 1 purpose. Creating tomorrow, today. Indiana University. Bring on tomorrow. Join us at iu.edu.
Indiana's regions are as diverse as the businesses that power them. Discover what's possible for your community at the Innovate Indiana series, presented by Indiana University and Old National Bank. We're hitting 9 regions to explore business expansion and attraction, workforce, entrepreneurship and innovation, and Indiana's tech hubs. First stop, Southwest Indiana, April 29th at the University of Evansville. Hear from Secretary of Education Katie Jenner and local leaders. Reserve your seat at ibj.com/innovate. A popcorn seed company in Tippecanoe County is now under new leadership. Ag Alumni Seed has appointed Craig Anderson as the company's new CEO. Anderson has held a number of positions in marketing and management with seed companies in his 3-decade career. Most recently, he was chief operating officer at Ag Reliant Genetics in Westfield. Community Health Network MD Anderson Cancer Center has opened a new treatment center in Carmel, its first location in Hamilton County. The new center designed to serve patients in communities including Carmel, Westfield, and Zionsville. This is Gary Dick for 93 WIBC.
Southside crash eastbound 465 at Harding Street, blocking the fast lane, jamming up traffic back to I-69 and a delay time of 11 minutes. Hendricks County crash on westbound 70 going away from Indianapolis. This is about 4 miles to the west of State Road 267 or past State Road 267 on westbound 70. Right now, the right shoulder closed. No delay, a bit of a slowdown as you make your way through there. Might cost you a minute. Traffic sponsored by Sullivan Hardware and Garden. This week at Sullivan Hardware and Garden, see their large selection of grills, Weber, Traeger, and Napoleon, along with the Big Green Egg. I'm Matt Bear on the 5s at WIBC Traffic.
We have got ourselves, I don't even know what we have ourselves. Maybe weather is just something we shouldn't talk about. All right, fine, we'll talk about it. 47 degrees in the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. The time is 6:36. We check on sports. Ryan Hedrick, what's up?
Tony, one of the advantages the Indiana Pacers have once the playoffs start this weekend is their depth. And a perfect example of that was Sunday when the reserves helped power the team back from 27 points down for a win against the Cleveland Cavaliers.
And we're going to need every bit of help that we can get. We're excited for the challenge of the playoffs, but we have work to do this week.
And the Pacers play the Milwaukee Bucks. First game Saturday afternoon at Gainbridge Fieldhouse. The Bucks have won 3 of 4 against the Pacers in the regular season, and it's going to be a really good series. The Indiana Fever picked up 3 players in last night's WNBA draft, including one who won a national title with their current center, Aaliyah Boston.
The Fever select Bree Hall, South Carolina.
And Boston posted her enthusiasm for the pick on X, calling it a big, breezy reunion. Sports brought to you by Ball State Athletics. I'm Ryan Hedrick on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com.
It's tax season, and at LifeLock, we know you're tired of numbers. But this one you need to hear. $16.5 billion. That's how much money in refunds the IRS flagged for possible identity fraud last year. Now, here's a good number. 100 million. That's how many data points LifeLock monitors every second. If your identity is stolen, we'll fix it guaranteed. Oh, one last number. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS. Visit LifeLock.com for the threats you can't control. Terms apply.
This week at Sullivan Hardware and Garden, see their large selection of grills, Weber, Traeger, and Napoleon, along with the Big Green Egg.
Gammons Garden Center West has trees, shrubs, vegetables, flowers, hanging baskets, plus garden and landscape supplies and knowledgeable staff. Gammons West on Rockville Road.
Join our B&W Premier Club for additional benefits and exclusive discounts.
B&W HVAC Plumbing and Electrical, B+W.com, your American Standard Air dealer.
So SB1 is all about property taxes, right? I interviewed every candidate for governor before the primaries, every single one of them. And every single one of them discussed the issues with property taxes. Property taxes were important and they had to be lowered. And I said, okay. And they said, okay. And we walked into this session. We were going to do something about property taxes. And now there is a signed SB1 A 27-22 vote happening in the early morning hours. And it, doesn't really do much. At least that's the look of it. I don't know how it gets sold to Hoosiers. You give people $300. I'm not saying no to $300. Some people have said no to $300. Oh, it's no big deal. I think it's a big deal. It's the money of that people can spend on something else. I think there's a value there. And for people who are like, oh, who cares about $300? Well, elitism is not a way to run a society. It's just not. But now you're going to tell local governments, you can raise taxes. Now, the people who didn't know that that was coming, I do look at a bit askew. It's government. They're going to get paid one way or another. The difference is, if you don't like the local taxes, you can move and you can fight those local taxes. You can't fight those local taxes? All of us, that's our argument? If the argument is, man, you got to vote better, I wholeheartedly agree. As I have said numerous times, I'm not quite sure what the victory is in Indiana with this supermajority. There is no boldness. There is no strength. Now, people could disagree. I mean, members of the General Assembly, they know my number. They can call in. I find that most people aren't interested in the conversation because the last thing they want to do is answer for it. They make an assumption as opposed to engage in the conversation, and, well, that's the end of the ball game. I've lived here now a decade. I can honestly say I do not know how Indiana is better off being a supermajority state. I have no idea. I can't do the math, and I don't think anything can be pointed to show me. You could tell me that I'm better off than what this Democratic Party puts out. Oh, I'll concede. When we see growth in the state, it is all because of some good economic stewardship, which could not exist with this Indiana Democratic Party. But if you want to talk about a bold vision, you want to talk about an enriching idea, you want to talk about a movement of strength that would make the people on the political right side of the aisle think that they voted for the right team, or people in the middle to think that, okay, these people are serious, even if I don't agree with them on everything. I'm sorry. I think I'm speaking well within the lanes here, and that's just not there. Governor Braun is scheduled to be with us at 8:15. I will have this conversation with him, and then I cannot wait to hear what you think, because I know we're going to see each other April 17th. Trump and American Reset and 3 Bourbons in Kokomo. Going to be such a good night. Confirmed everything on the bourbon. All the food is set. The cigars are incredible. And it's going to be a great, great time. Laser Precision Marksmanship Club, our sponsor out there. You want to learn how to shoot and shoot the right way in a setting that has no judgment and all learning? Laser Precision Marksmanship Club, laserpmc.com. That's right, you can use your own firearm. They will outfit it with a laser, and you're utilizing these video board targets. It's all interactive. You can learn how to make the right judgment, how to look for certain clues and cues. You could be able to work with them on how you deal with all sorts of situations that impact and benefit your life and your safety and the safety of the ones you love. Or you can just go have a great time. Bring the friends, whatever the case may be. LaserPMC.com, and they'll come to you. They'll be at the event. They'll be at the event on Thursday in Kokomo. Trump and American Reset in 3 Bourbons. They'll have the whole video simulator set up. You're going to be able to try it. It is fantastic. You're going to love it. So that is Laser Precision Marksmanship Club, LaserPMC.com. You got to check them out. For yourself. See what it is they do. Tell them Tony Katz sent you. LaserPMC.com. And if you use promo code TonyKatz20, you're going to save a whole bunch. TonyKatz20, TonyKatz20. Do that. LaserPMC.com. Check them out. Tony Katz, 93 WIBC. Good morning.
The agenda is taking shape.
Since Inauguration Day,
From education to energy.
We will drill, baby, drill.
From the economy to the military.
We will again build the strongest military the world has ever seen.
Watch it unfold day by day.
My first day back.
First 100 days.
It's a tough job, but I've had a lot of tough jobs.
Follow the first 100 days on 93 WIBC and WIBC.com.
Attorney Joe Cordell. Divorce changes your life and the lives of your children. This change can be good or bad. The outcome depends greatly on the attorney that you choose. So interview more than one attorney. Family law experience, especially trial experience, is important, but so is temperament and judgment. Also, remember to consider Cordell & Cordell. We've been serving men in divorce for over 30 years.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Indianapolis area attorneys. 101 West Ohio Street, Suite 1250, Indianapolis, Indiana, 46204.
Traffic on the fives. Matt Bear, what's going on?
What's happening, Tony? Southside crash, eastbound 465. Just cleared the left lane. Cleanup still active right now. Traffic stop and go back to I-69 for a delay time of 12 minutes, but that should lessen now that we are out of the interstate. Northbound 6570 stop and go traffic, Michigan Street out to Meridian Penn. Crash Hendricks County. Cleanup in progress on westbound 70 like you're going away from Indianapolis and Hendricks County. It's westbound 70 about 4 miles after State Road 267 or right around the town of Joppa. Traffic sponsored by Sullivan Hardware and Garden. This week at Sullivan Hardware and Garden, see their large selection of grills, Weber, Traeger, and Napoleon, along with the Big Green Egg. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the fives. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
47 degrees in the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. The time is 6:46.
WindowNation.com, that's where you go to replace your cold, drafty windows with energy-efficient ones from Window Nation like I did. I love my Window Nation windows. I've saved a ton on energy bills, and your new windows can be installed in 1 day or less.
Go big or go home, and that's what they're doing at Window Nation. Right now, get four windows for free with every 4 that you buy. And there's no limit. The more you buy, the more free ones you get. 0 interest, 0 payments for 2 years. You don't pay anything until 2027, and you get 4 windows for free when you buy 4. And on top of that, get a free entry door when you buy a house full of windows. This deal is not going to be around forever, so you got to hustle. 866-90-NATION. That's 866-90-NATION, or go to windownation.com. Tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you.
From a fast break to recovery, Indiana hospitals are here for every Hoosier, regardless of their ability to pay. That's why we're teaming up with legislators on a winning playbook to lower costs and protect access to care across our communities. Because good policy doesn't leave anyone on the sidelines. Learn more at HoosierLifeline.com.
Paid for by the Indiana Hospital Association. It's tax season, and at LifeLock, we know you're tired of numbers. But this one you need to hear. $16.5 billion. That's how much money in refunds the IRS flagged for possible identity fraud last year. Now, here's a good number. $100 million. That's how many data points LifeLock monitors every second. If your identity is stolen, we'll fix it guaranteed. Oh, one last number. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS. Visit LifeLock.com for the threats you can't control. Terms apply.
I gave it a shot, and I came in and had the procedure done. To me, it was amazing because I don't think I ever breathed that clear. I wish I would have done it 20 years ago.
Check out what's going on with 93 WIBC.
Join Hammer and Nigel live this Friday when they broadcast live from Coach's Tavern 3 to 7. Great drinks featuring beers from Metazoa Brewing Company, big laughs, and your favorite duo bringing the party.
This is the story of the one who, as a maintenance specialist for a historic high-rise, knows that vintage charm historically needs constant attention. which is why when it's time to upgrade turn-of-the-century mechanicals, they turn to Grainger. With easy access to 1 million-plus products and the scale to deliver when and where you need them, the right tools and supplies are never far away. So the one can keep that vintage building running like new. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
April showers can bring plumbing downers, and my friends at Hope Plumbing don't want you to get caught in a flood this spring. Make sure your sump pump is working properly to avoid any damage. During the month of April, call Hope Plumbing and get a free sump pump with the purchase of a new battery backup system. A sump pump is vital to protecting your home from heavy rains, so you don't want to delay in calling Hope Plumbing. The number 641-HOPE, that's 641-HOPE, or visit them online at hopeplumbing.com.
Court said someone needed to be returned, that you would abide by that. You said that on Air Force One just a few days ago, and they said that it must be facilitated.
Why don't you just say, isn't it wonderful that we're keeping criminals out of our country? Why can't you just say that?
That is President Trump taking Caitlin Collins to task. This has to do with the El Salvadorian national, that is Abrego Garcia. Tony Katz. Oh, what a story. 93 WIBC. Good morning. El Salvador will not return him. Bukele was very clear that, I can't do that. Now, I don't know how the president of El Salvador can't do that. Not sure how that works. The administration is saying this guy was not deported by mistake. The Justice Department is saying the right person was sent to the right place. The court is saying there was a prior court order that said you couldn't deport him to El Salvador. You have to, now here's where there's an interesting wordplay, effectuate returning him to the U.S. That is different than facilitate. These are two different words. Effectuate is how it was termed in some of the court's order, not necessarily other responses from some of the liberal justices. Does Trump have to return a guy to the U.S. who is here illegally because a court in 2019 said you can't return him to El Salvador? I made this argument yesterday, and I think this argument still holds. That just because you can't send him to El Salvador doesn't mean you can't send him somewhere else. Doesn't mean you have to allow him in the United States. I don't think that's what the original order means. If I follow people like Andrew McCarthy over there at National Review, who also writes at Fox and is a super smart guy. SCOTUS was clear, you got to bring the guy back. Except I don't know if you have to bring him back here. That's the part that confuses. I have no issue with people who want to make that argument at all. But it has to be made on the grounds that there was a 2019 order. Now, what we should be addressing is the 2019 order. If you want to make this on the grounds that the president can't deport people, well, then, sorry, you lose. Of course the president can. It's all within the president's purview. And if you don't like it, no one cares. That's your problem. You're going to have to learn to deal with the pain. There's no questioning whether or not this guy was here illegally. There is no question as to whether or not Kilmar Armando Abrego Garcia was here illegally. Everybody admits to this. I'm not quite sure why we would allow some judge from 2019 to say, well, he can't go back to El Salvador. There's a real threat on his life because the judge said so. There's a conversation about whether or not the White House or the Trump administration properly went about trying to vacate that order or challenge that order. make the statement that the situation has changed and therefore that order is no longer necessary. There's nothing showing that. The president is absolutely correct to be deporting these people. The president is absolutely correct to say that American safety and security matters, and the American people voted for this, no matter what MSNBC thinks. I do think that El Salvador is saying, we can't just release him. Well, of course you can. You won't? That's different. And I think America could make it happen. This is an interesting fight. I've got more on this coming up. Right now, Matt Bear has traffic. What's up, Matthew?
Westbound 70, stop-and-go traffic through the North Split out to Meridian Penn, and northbound 6570 downtown also backed up from the North Split to Washington Street. South side, crash is clear. Eastbound 465 at Harding Street. The delay is cleared out as well. Inbound 69 slows right now. 96th Street down to 82nd. And a reminder that 82nd Street is closed between Bash and Craig. Hopefully, that's going to reopen sometime today. That was the plan. Traffic sponsored by Sullivan Hardware and Garden. This week at Sullivan Hardware and Garden, see their large selection of grills, Weber, Traeger, and Napoleon, along with the Big Green Egg. I'm Matt Bear on the 5s at WIBC Traffic.
Applied Innovation has made a lot of IT directors happy with their managed print services offering. Listen to a few of them talk about Applied Innovation. Chris Pfeiffer, IT Director for Doran Mayhew.
So we were able to reduce the number of machines that we use, but increase their capacity. And then basically we cut our managed print services bill in half by doing that.
Applied Innovation customer Linda Philly Watson, Director of IT at LaSalle Bristol.
The devices are well managed, they're well maintained, well supported, and that's less time for me. More time for me to spend on other projects, on other priorities.
Applied Innovation customer Craig Gilliam, IT Director for Suncoast Skin Solutions.
I think it's just the simplicity of everything. They're quick, fast, and so if you need any help, they're on the spot.
Applied Innovation, office technology made simple, backed by a partner you can trust. Call Applied Innovation today, 800-521-0983, or visit appliedinnovation.com.
Pat Sullivan here for Gutter Helmet. Spring is here. Are you still putting screens on your gutters? You know, if the holes are too big, debris gets in, and you're still cleaning your gutters. If the holes are too small, it sits on top, and now you're cleaning the screens. I have Gutter Helmet on my home, and it has no holes, slots, or screens. It keeps the debris out and the water in. Since 1981, Gutter Helmet has been America's #1 choice for gutter protection. Right now, Gutter Helmet is offering a 17% discount plus 12 months, no interest financing if paid in full within 12 months. Call 800-5HELMET, that's 800-5HELMET, to schedule a free estimate. 17% off is good through April. Restrictions apply and cannot be combined with other offers. Call Gutter Helmet today at 800-5HELMET. That's 800-5HELMET, or gutterhelmetindy.com, and never clean your gutters again.
Yeah, the Hammer and Nigel Show, throwing a big party, broadcasting live from Coach's Tavern downtown on Pennsylvania. Friday, April 18th. It's Beer Sample Friday. Going to be featuring some local brews from Metazoa Brewing.
Hoppopotamus, an American IPA with a citrus aroma. You guys are going to love it. Plus, we're going to be there. We got swag to give away. We're going to have a good time. Cold beer, great food. Join us at Coach's Tavern, Friday, April 18th, starting at 3 p.m. It's the Hammer and Nigel Show live.
Right now, get Lincoln's employee pricing for everyone on most new Lincolns at Tom Roush Lincoln. Get up to $20,000 off select 2024 Lincoln Navigators, up to $8,000 off select 2024 Lincoln Nautilus, or up to $7,000 off select 2024 Lincoln Corsair at Tom Roush Lincoln in Fishers. Navigator MSRP $105,575, Nautilus MSRP $61,995, Corsair MSRP $47,820. Offers good through 4/30/2025. Navigators excluded from employee pricing. Subject to credit approval. See dealer for complete offer details.
Hi, this is Chris Cox, owner of Chimney Solutions Indiana. We're celebrating our 10th year in business. Call this month to take advantage of 10% off all chimney sweeps and inspections. We're also celebrating the opening of our new fireplace showroom on 86th Street and Lafayette Road. Come and experience our exclusive lines of wood-burning and gas fireplaces.
Call 317-757-6979 or chimneyindy.com.
Welcome to Tire Discounters. Oh, hiya, Phantom.
Mike, I think I saw a fox on my way in.
Oh, that was the Carfax Carfox. He was congratulating us on our Carfax Top-Rated Service Center Award.
I have always rated Tire Discounters at the very top.
Oh, thanks. So does Carfax. And not just for tires, but for all our services, too.
Alignment, brakes, shocks and struts, and more.
Yes, sir.
But, Mike, do you think people believe Carfax over me?
Well, you are the Phantom tire buyer.
Exactly.
Hammer and Nigel show 306 this afternoon. Biggest stories in Indy. Jeff Boggs will join us in studio, and we'll see how uncomfortable we can make producer Allison. 93 WIBC.
Coming up in 2 minutes from the Technology Recyclers Studios, the state Senate met late into the night to take a vote on the property tax bill and incentivizing Hoosiers to get married. After Fox News, you're listening to 93 WIBC.
Back to court, CJ Papa, Fox News. Arguments about the Maryland man, Kilmer Abrego Garcia, deported to El Salvador, set for 10 a.m. Eastern in front of federal judge Paula Zinnes. But in the Oval Office Monday, President Trump and his counterpart from El Salvador both agreed there's nothing that can be done to get Abrego Garcia back. Fox's Madeline Rivera reports.
In its latest filing, the government suggests it might not be able to bring Abrego Garcia back. The Department of Homeland Security saying it does not have the authority to forcibly extract an alien from the domestic custody of a foreign sovereign nation. The Supreme Court ruled last week that the administration must facilitate Abrego Garcia's return, but it asked Zinnes to clarify what she meant by effectuate. The administration took that to mean they would take steps like providing a plane, and if El Salvador decides it wants to release Abrego Garcia. He's now being held in a maximum security prison in the country.
Judge Zinnes could hold the government in contempt for not complying with her order to bring the 29-year-old home. Another federal judge, this time on the bench in Boston, sets up another roadblock on the foreign policy agenda set out from President Trump. Fox's Carmen Roberts picks up the story.
A federal judge temporarily blocks the Trump administration from revoking the legal status and work permits of more than 530,000 migrants from Cuba, Haiti, Nicaragua, and Venezuela. U.S. District Judge Indira Talwani ruled that each of those migrants who flew to the U.S. during the Biden-era humanitarian parole program needs to have an individualized case-by-case review. A Trump administration official told Fox News the ruling is pure lawless tyranny. Carmen Roberts, Fox News.
April 15, time for most of the nation to file your taxes. Residents in Alabama, Florida, Georgia, North, and South Carolina have until May 1st to pay their taxes due to natural disasters. More limited extension granted for parts of Alaska, New Mexico, Tennessee, and Virginia. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
The vote came down early this morning. Your radar is clear in downtown Indianapolis, where it's 47 degrees. Your high today, 54. I'm Ryan Hedrick. Here's what's trending at 7:02. The Indiana Senate approved the property tax bill while you were asleep, 27-22.
The vote early Tuesday caps months of negotiations over the property tax overhaul. Now it remains to be seen what the actual impact is. The Senate voted to accept the version the House approved last week. Homeowners could claim a property tax credit of up to 10% of their total tax bill after all other deductions have been applied, up to a maximum of $300. Fixed income seniors and disabled veterans could claim additional credits. The savings would take effect with the bill you pay in 2026.
2/3 of our homeowners will pay less in 26 than they did in 25.
And just moments after that vote came down, Governor Mike Braun said in a statement he looks forward to signing the bill.
That's Wish TV's Garrett Berquist reporting from the State House. A state Senate property tax bill would strip key funding from public schools, says it's a President Keith Gamble.
With the 2% increase, we're not keeping up with inflation, and that's really putting our school districts in a very tight situation.
And Gamble spoke at a rally where hundreds of Hoosier teachers were at Monday
At the State House, they say Senate Bill 1 could cost jobs and leave fewer schools for them to work in. Indiana's Governor Mike Braun says there's not enough of you getting married, so he signed an executive order Monday to incentivize people and eliminate tax penalties on marriage in the state. Braun says state agencies are directed to evaluate laws and policies that disadvantage married couples and provide recommendations for changes by July 1st. Felony charges have been filed against 27-year-old Drew Akridge, a math teacher and assistant football coach at Frankfort High School. Chris Davis has that story.
It's an accusation that he attempted to have an inappropriate relationship with a 17-year-old student over Snapchat, sending her a video of himself and then requesting one back, according to the Clinton County prosecutor. The girl was 17 at the time. She reported that to another teacher after the school had a presentation on cyber awareness. Sunday, the school said Akridge was on administrative leave pending the possible termination of his contract. He's also been charged with 2 low-level felonies. Chris Davis, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
A 12-year-old girl in Marion County is facing felony charges. John Herrick explains why.
On Monday, those charges were announced as follows against the girl: criminal recklessness and possession of a knife on school property, resulting in bodily injury. Police say that girl brought a razor blade to Southport's 6th grade academy last week and cut a boy on his wrist and forearm. The boy was rushed to a hospital and is recovering and had to get stitches. John Herrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
The Indiana Pacers played their first-round playoff game against the Milwaukee Bucks on Saturday afternoon. Tip-off at 1 o'clock. I'm Ryan Hedrick on The Level on the go and at WIBC.com at 7:05. Traffic on the 5s. Good morning, Matt Bear.
All right, Ryan, we have the scanner on here, a little scanner chatter, and it sounds like on the east side. Yes, definitely on the east side crash. Eastbound 10th Street between Washington Point Drive and German Church. Right now, I would avoid East 10th Street in that area because of this crash. It sounds serious. There are injuries, and at least one person had to be extricated from a vehicle. That's eastbound East 10th Street at Washington Point Drive to German Church, all shut down right now. Looking at westbound 70 stop and go traffic, rural through the North Split out to Meridian. Penn crash reported at the end of the North Split and northbound 6570 stop and go traffic from Michigan Street into the North Split. Now we have a delay in Hendricks County because of a crash. It's westbound 70 about 4 miles after past State Road 267. It's on the shoulder, but traffic is backed up for about 1.5 miles. Traffic sponsored by Lear Capital. Our financial system is cracking under pressure. Your retirement is at risk. Take control now. Lear Capital is offering a free Sky High Silver Report and Precious Metals IRA guide at betternestegg.com. Don't leave your future to chance. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Tara Hastings, Wish TV meteorologist. What do we know?
Hey, good morning. Already pretty gusty out there this morning, and it will continue to be gusty for the afternoon. We'll see winds anywhere between 30 and 35 miles per hour today. We'll go with a partly cloudy sky, sharply cooler than yesterday. We'll see highs right around 55. Tonight, partly cloudy, patchy frost is possible. We do have a frost advisory in place overnight with lows falling to 37. It gets better for the rest of the week. 60 on Wednesday, mostly sunny skies. And then temperatures climb into the mid-60s Thursday with a chance for some showers.
That is Tara Hastings of Wish TV. Tara, thank you so much. 46 degrees in the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. The time is 7:07.
This hour on 93 WIBC, powered by Damon's Garden Center West on Rockville Road.
So you've got Robert F. Kennedy Jr. in town. You've got Dr. Oz, who heads up the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services, CMS as we call it. They will be here with the governor to make Indiana healthy again. Matt Bear, are you their spokesperson?
I don't think so, but
I don't
I'm
even know
taking
what's
the
going
money.
on here.
I'm taking the money. I know that. They want
How is Matt Bear? It should be nothing but a before and after picture of Matt Bear, and underneath it should say, "Huh?"
Right.
Come on, Indiana.
I have an old driver's license photo they can use. That should scare people into health.
So, look, I think that you should be there for this event. This is very, very important. I do not know what the Make Indiana Healthy Again initiative is going to be. I'm not sure what it is that they're going to announce. What I do know is that today at the Indiana State Library, that's where the focus of health in America will be. It will be in Indiana, and afterwards, they're going to take RFK Jr. out for a tenderloin, and he's going to see it, and he's going to immediately pass out. Seriously, someone take him out for a tenderloin. He should witness that with his own eyes. Go ahead. You try some. No, you can dismiss the tiny little bun. It's all right. We do that for effect. It's like putting a top hat on a lion. Just try it out. Try it out. No. Enjoy that. Good. Yes. Excellent. After that, we're going to take it to Hollyhock Hill and then Wilson's Farm Market for fried chicken. That's what we're doing. Come to Indiana, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Finger-licking delicious. I can't say it the other way because I'll get sued. I hope they have a good time. I do. Somebody wants to bring the secretary a smoothie or something. That'd be terrific. Maybe him and Matt can have a pose down. That would also be good. They are going to pass this property tax bill. We will discuss that. Governor Mike Braun scheduled to be with us at 8:15. And the popcorn moment. That is all coming up in mere moments. Tony Katz, 93 WIBC. Good morning.
Well, given the troubles with the stock market today, your Social Security income becomes a lot more important in retirement. And that's why it's critical you make a smart decision and don't leave any money on the table. Learn how you can squeeze every nickel out of your benefits with a free Social Security analysis from Bill Demery, your retirement guy.
Bill Demery knows Social Security. He's done it for thousands of people, and he's my retirement guy. This analysis tells you how and when you could get the most income from Social Security while considering your taxes, spousal benefits, even your Medicare premiums. So if you've saved more than $200,000 and have not yet filed for Social Security, schedule that free analysis right now by calling Bill Demery. 317-648-5120. 317-648-5120. It's a free analysis. Just call 317-648-5120.
Indiana patients rely on many types of pharmacies to access their medications and critical healthcare services. But a proposal being considered in the Indiana legislature called SB 140 would disrupt access to medications for Indiana patients. SB 140 would impose government mandates blocking access to critical pharmacy options and services in Indiana. Lost access to pharmacy options would directly harm many of Indiana's most vulnerable patients, including patients fighting cancer and heart disease, many of whom rely on specialty pharmacies for their care. SB 140 would even hike costs for Indiana patients by imposing a $10 tax on every prescription filled in the state. That would often fall directly on the patient. Tell your state legislator, protect access to medications, reject higher costs. Put Indiana patients first by voting no on SB 140, paid for by conservatives for lower healthcare costs.
This is the story of the one who, as a maintenance specialist for a historic high-rise, knows that vintage charm historically needs constant attention. Which is why when it's time to upgrade turn-of-the-century mechanicals, they turn to Grainger. With easy access to 1 million+ products and the scale to deliver when and where you need them. The right tools and supplies are never far away. So the one can keep that vintage building running like new. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Men over 40, struggling with low energy, not feeling like yourself. Low T Center's testosterone replacement therapy is the solution. Get started today. Visit one of their conveniently located clinics, meet a medical provider, and get back to feeling your best.
This month only, the consultation is free. Treatment is tailor-made just for you, and it's covered by most health insurance. Get treated at a Low T Center near you or even in the comfort of your home. Book your appointment now at lowtcenter.com. lowtcenter.com.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation and a regular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduced stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop taking prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. It may increase your stroke risk. Eliquis can cause serious and in rare cases fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or take longer for bleeding to stop. A spinal injection while on Eliquis increases risk of blood clots, which may cause paralysis, the inability to move. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding, unusual bruising, or tingling, numbness, or muscle weakness. Medications such as aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners may increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
When you wake up,
You understand this is about money. 1,000%. They started this.
when you work,
We are going to make some noise today.
Eliminate property taxes now.
Hanging out with us, it's fun.
Right.
when you drive home,
Is it time to try something new, you think? Because it hasn't worked, and maybe try something new.
traffic when you need it,
Stopped on 465 again.
and updates all the time.
I'm Ryan Hedrick on the level, on the go.
Stay in the know wherever you go with 93 WIBC.
Traffic on the 5s. Matt Bear, what's going on?
East side, eastbound 10th Street closed at Washington Point Drive to German Church Road. That is because of a crash, injury, and entrapment. Looking at northbound 65 out of the north split at Meridian Street. Penn crash blocking the left lane, stopping traffic through the north split. And that's also backed up northbound 65, 72 Washington Street. Inbound 69 stop and go, 96th Street down to 465. Traffic sponsored by Rapid Radios. Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com now for 60% off and free UPS shipping. At Go to Radio and get an extra 5% off. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
We have got ourselves 47 degrees? Yeah. In the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. The time is 7:16. It's the popcorn moment brought to you by Booher Remodeling, B-O-O-H-E-R, BooherRemodeling.com, because you need a place to eat that popcorn, and it might as well be in your brand new home theater, because that's what they can do to your basement. Make it amazing. Or that master bathroom, which is definitely in need of a redo, and that kitchen, that heart of the home. How do you make it work for you and your family now? Getting things on the schedule before the holidays get here, when you say to yourself, man, this kitchen doesn't have enough space. Booher Remodeling and their 5-step process from start to finish, from the consultation to that final bit of construction, leaving you with a kitchen that works for you and your family, increasing the value of your home, increasing the value of your life. You should talk to Booher today. Talk to them about how their craftsmen work, the most skilled craftsmen in central Indiana, how they deal with the highest quality pieces in terms of brand names that you know and trust, and the very best materials. Booher Remodeling, their process makes it different, and you are going to have a kitchen, a bathroom, and that home theater, that basement, that works for your family. It's no longer going to be that place where you store the stuff. It's going to be a part of the home with Booher. Talk to them today, 317-852-5546. Tell them Tony Katz sent you, 317-852-5546. Booher Remodeling, 852-5546, or online at Booher, B-O-O-H-E-R, BooherRemodeling.com. And now, the popcorn moment. Let's go. It's a story you need to hear to believe, then grab your popcorn because there is more. I do have a whole bunch of stuff to get to. I will start here just as a reminder of how the left speaks and how they believe they can win in the future.
Donald Trump is a criminal who was found guilty of 34 felony counts of fraud, liable for sexual abuse. Of course he's lying and abusing and manipulating the stock market too. When he talks about rapists and criminals, he should look in the mirror.
If the Democratic Party wants to engage this way, they're more than welcome to. You know, I didn't do my normal opening, the popcorn moment. It's a story you need to hear to believe, then grab your popcorn because there is more. That's what I usually say. I've been saying that for years, the popcorn moment. And then producer Carl plays this crunchy thing. It's like a guy eating popcorn, right? It sounds like this. Sounds like that. And I say, it's a story you need to hear to believe, then grab your popcorn because there is more. I don't know why. I feel like I didn't start that way. Did I start that way this time?
Yeah, you did.
I did? I totally forgot. I felt bad. It's like this statement from Representative Ocasio-Cortez, 77 million people voted for the guy. They took a look at the 34 felony counts and all the indictments and said this was lawfare. This is what people like you, weak-minded, violent people like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, this is what you do. These cases didn't go anywhere. The E. Jean Carroll case, that was a civil case, not a criminal case. And E. Jean Carroll doesn't come across as the most sympathetic character. I'm not saying that the court didn't say what it said. I'm just discussing reality. And therefore, it plays into the four indictments that all went poof. People don't buy in. What it is that you got the felony counts on is so nonsensical that when appeal does come, and I don't know if that's going to be before, while he's in office or after, the large-scale belief is overturned. And America's already made this call. So if you want to run on this, you go right ahead. You go right ahead. Go run on this. Knock yourself out. The question is, why do they do it? Why is this it? Why is this the approach? Donald Trump cleaning up the border is the policy Americans wanted. Where's the Democratic policy, Representative Ocasio-Cortez? Nowhere. You don't have one because you do not believe in the sovereignty of the nation. You believe in an open border because your history shows that. You were the one who didn't want new beds at the border. Why? Because if you have beds, then you're going to have people stopped at the border. You should have people stopped at the border because you should have open borders. This is who you are. You engage in these photo ops where you're crying at the border only when Donald Trump is in office. You didn't go once when Joe Biden is in office, which is why I say, as clear as a bell, whether it's on air, on radio, or on the video live stream that we do over at YouTube. You can check it out right now. Just go to 93 WIBC. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, the congresswoman from New York, does not care about brown children. If she cared about brown children, she'd still be bothered by things happening at the border. And she would have been bothered during the 4 years of the Biden administration, and she was not. We see you. We see this. We get it. We understand that you don't have a policy that you can point to, well, especially when you're a communist. And so we're clear. So we have it all under control. We know what you are. We understand what it is that you're all about. We heard you just the other day trying to make this argument that maybe America has kind of outlived its usefulness. I mean, that's the argument you're making, right? When you engage this way.
Also, you know, the other way I think you can think about it is that we are, you know, perhaps we are in the downfall of the broken way. This was not built to last. Inequity, injustice is not built to last. It lasts a long time. It could last hundreds of years, but ultimately it crumbles into this, you know, a small cohort of incompetent people that create damage. And from that, something new can spring. And so maybe something is declining right now, but maybe it deserves to decline.
The small cohort of people who don't know how to do anything is the Democratic Party. Oh, please, I give Republicans enough grief, but we should be clear as to what's going on here. You do want it to crumble. You do want it to fall, and you have moved heaven and earth to try and do that. Somehow you believe you can make it better. America doesn't think so. But communists always believe they can do it better. That's part of their charm. And when I say their charm, I mean their cockroach-like ability to continue to exist generation after generation past Karl Marx. You can't do it better. You don't have the skill set. You're sitting there talking to Nicole Hannah-Jones, the liar of the 1619 Project, and Megan Rapinoe of U.S. Women's Soccer, who claims to be all about women and then thinks men can say they're women and take the jobs of women on the U.S. Women's National Team. Also, she takes a knee for the national anthem because she's so brave or something like that. There is certainly a probability that she's going to run for president or vice president with Bernie Sanders. Why not? They're both communists. They are who they are. They're fully outed. We're done here. Let them. Let's tell the story. This is what they believe. This is what they want. They could have protected a border. They chose not to. They could have pressured Biden and Mayorkas to sealing a border, securing a border. They chose not to. They could have protected women. They chose not to. But getting free tickets to the Met Gala, they chose to do that. Matt Bear has traffic. What's up, Matthew?
Yeah, looking at the north split and northbound 65, that is a crash at Meridian Penn and causing slow traffic through the north split back to Emerson Avenue. Also slowing down northbound 6570, stop and go traffic, Washington Street into the north split. Inbound 69, stop and go from 116th Street to 82nd. If you're on the east side this morning, eastbound 10th Street shut down at Washington Point Drive. That's because of a crash with injury and somebody had to be extricated from a vehicle. Traffic sponsored by Sullivan Hardware and Garden this week at Sullivan Hardware and Garden. See their large selection of grills, Weber, Traeger, and Napoleon, along with the Big Green Egg. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Hammer and Nigel show 3:06 this afternoon. Biggest stories in Indy. Jeff Boggs will join us in studio, and we'll see how uncomfortable we can make producer Allison. 93 WIBC.
This is Sammy Terry. There are two things guaranteed in life: death and taxes. Death can be painful, but paying your taxes doesn't have to be, with a little extra cash in your pocket from Indiana Unclaimed. Yes, George, you're right. George the Spider reminds us that Indiana Unclaimed returns over $1 million every single week, and there are hundreds of millions of dollars just waiting to be claimed by the rightful owner. Text Sammy to 46220 to find out if you or your loved ones have unclaimed funds. Claim yours today. Text Sammy to 46220 now.
You've set your financial goals. One kid plans to go Big Ten, the other Ivy. Your bucket list includes seaside sunrises and sunsets on the slopes, or perhaps a second home away from it all. Busey Bank can help develop the right investment strategy to take charge of the years ahead. Busey Bank, building business, growing wealth since 1868. Member FDIC.
You love spring in Indy, so don't spend it painting. Do what your neighbor Mike did. He called Rhino Shield.
Our home is basically a contemporary, and we just started noticing that the paint was just fading and just looked like garbage. We had received a postcard from Rhino Shield, and we decided to take a look at it.
Rhino Shield's formulated for our specific climate here in Indiana.
The process with Rhino Shield and their crew, they were just very conscientious. We had problems in the past with painters. They leave debris and everything. Well, we didn't have that with Rhino Shield.
Way better than paint, backed by a 25-year warranty. Right now, get the guaranteed protection of Rhino Shield for 15% off the regular price.
The thing about Rhino Shield, the heat gain has been reduced, and we save $70 a month. You don't hear that about any type of paint.
Here's Rhino Shield's Shane Smith.
This offer is limited, so call me at 888-RHINO-41. That's 888-RHINO-41.
Don't paint.
Don't vinyl.
Go Rhino.
Paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
This week at Sullivan Hardware and Garden, get 30% off all patio furniture, wicker, Berlin Gardens, poly, cast aluminum, teak, and more.
Damon's Garden Company South has trees, shrubs, vegetables, flowers, hanging baskets, plus garden and landscape supplies and knowledgeable staff. Damon's South on Emerson Avenue.
For over 20 years, Howard Bailey Financial has been helping families just like yours gain clarity, confidence, and purpose with personal and practical financial strategies. And now, we're offering our full suite of services on Rangeline Road, right in the heart of Carmel, making it even easier to meet with our experienced team face-to-face. Whether you're planning for retirement, navigating life transitions, or just need guidance for your financial future, we're here to walk with you every step of the way. Text CARMEL to 888-262-1104 to download a free retirement resource. Howard Bailey Financial, helping you turn hope into a plan and dreams into reality. Howard Bailey Securities, LLC is an independent financial services firm and uses a variety of different investment strategies. Please see disclosures at howardbailey.com.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
It took months to negotiate the bill. It's 46 degrees in downtown Indianapolis. Your high today is 53. I'm Ryan Hedrick. Here's what's trending at 7:31.
2/3 of our homeowners will pay less in 26 than they did in 25, which means 1.16 million households will receive relief.
Early this morning, the Indiana Senate approved the property tax bill by a vote of 27 to 22.
I have committed, and so has Chairman Thompson, to work on fixes if they become known to us.
Educators and community members say they're concerned about its impact on school budgets. Democrats proposed about 60 changes, but none were accepted. Senate Minority Leader Shelley Yoder called the bill a missed opportunity to address community concerns. A Biden-appointed judge puts a roadblock to a Trump administration deportation plan.
A federal judge temporarily blocks the Trump administration from revoking the legal status and work permits of more than 530,000 migrants from Cuba, Haiti, Nicaragua, and Venezuela. U.S. District Judge Indira Talwani ruled that each of those migrants who flew to the U.S. during the Biden-era humanitarian parole program needs to have an individualized case-by-case review. A Trump administration official told Fox News the ruling is pure lawless tyranny. Carmen Roberts, Fox News.
And President Trump said he had planned to shut down the Biden-era program later this month. Mark Zuckerberg took the stand Monday as a major antitrust trial involving Facebook got underway in Washington, D.C. The Federal Trade Commission accuses the social media company of creating a monopoly by buying up rivals Instagram and WhatsApp to keep a lid on the competition. Indiana Governor Mike Braun issued an executive order Monday aimed at eliminating tax penalties on marriage in the state. Here's John Herrick.
Braun says the current tax system puts married couples at a disadvantage, so he's telling state agencies to evaluate and identify laws or policies that put married couples at a disadvantage. Braun says he discovered that a single filer and a married couple get the same $1,500 max credit on 529 contributions, and he believes that needs to change. John Herrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
A man drowned this weekend when he fell out of a boat. Here's Chris Davis.
Always wear a life jacket, say conservation officers, and they believe had these two men been wearing theirs, 60-year-old Daniel Watson might not have died. He and 49-year-old Nicholas George were fishing Sunday afternoon on Goose Lake near Columbia City. Watson fell overboard, and that's when the whole boat turned over. George called for help, but by the time he got some, it was too late for Watson. Chris Davis, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
For the first time ever, the NBA says an international player led the league in jersey sales. It's Luka Doncic, who was traded from the Dallas Mavericks to the LA Lakers a few months ago. Sports on WIBC is brought to you by Ball State Athletics. Visit ballstatesports.com. The Indiana Pacers will not be an easy out in this year's NBA playoffs. Head coach Rick Carlisle shares what sets his group apart.
Is our ability to wear teams down with our depth. Now, this is an unusual situation going this deep, and having third-string guys in the game.
And the Pacers played the Bucks in the first round, game one, at home Saturday afternoon. Coverage gets underway at 12:30 on 107.5 The Fan. The tip-off downtown is at 1 o'clock. UConn star Paige Beckers went first overall in the WNBA draft last night. The Fever grabbed Florida State's Michaela Timpson at 19 and South Carolina's Bree Hall with the 20th pick. Bree Hall played with current center Aaliyah Boston, and Boston says she's excited about the pick. I'm Ryan Hedrick on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com. At 7:35, traffic on the fives. How the roads looking, Matt Bear?
Boy, Matt, if you're coming into the North Split, Ryan, we do have a crash. It's northbound 65. Coming out of the North Split before Meridian, Penn blocking the left lane and causing stop-and-go traffic back to Emerson Avenue. This is also backing up northbound 6570 Washington Street up to the North Split. On the east side, eastbound 10th Street is shut down at Washington Point Drive to German Church Road because of a crash. I'm using Washington Point to Washington Street as part of my reroute. Inbound 69 stop-and-go traffic, 116th Street down to 465. That's a 9-minute delay. Traffic sponsored by Sullivan Hardware and Garden. This week at Sullivan Hardware and Garden, get 30% off all patio furniture, wicker, Berlin Gardens poly, cast aluminum, teak, and more. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the fives. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
We've got 47 degrees in the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. The time is 7:36.
Whenever I'm out wandering, chasing a rainbow dream, I often stop and think about a place I've never seen.
Today on the marketplace, exactly how many copyright infringements can one guy have? Oh no, I'm not talking about me. No, I'm good. I'm fine. Tony Katz, 93 WIBC. Good morning. Good to be with you. During downtime, I'm clearing my head, getting ready for what's next. I find myself on Facebook Marketplace because there's weird stuff there. The Marketplace, brought to you by IndianaUnclaimed.gov. Well, not the one on Facebook, the one that we do where we talk about things on the Marketplace. IndianaUnclaimed.gov. It's your cash. It's waiting for you. Check it out for yourself. IndianaUnclaimed.gov. Go get your money. On Facebook Marketplace, there's odd stuff, strange stuff, weird stuff, all sorts of stuff. And we share some of it here with you. And I ask Matt Bear what he thinks of it. And then he tells me what he thinks of it. Are you really not going, Matt, to see Governor Braun and Secretary Kennedy and Dr. Oz there and show them how healthy Indiana is?
No, I'm not going to. I'm very curious about what they say because there are things that have to be addressed if you're really going to call it healthy Indiana. So I hope they're serious about this because Indiana needs better health, and I hope it lands. That's all.
Physical health or mental health?
Yeah, both. But I'm thinking more
what about
physical
emotional health?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah,
Do we all need an emotional support animal?
Yeah, absolutely.
Can you name that
want.
animal?
Anything you want. Get a bobcat.
Emotional support bobcat.
Yeah, absolutely.
I was going for emotional support kimono dragon.
Oh, that would be awesome.
That is mine. Because if you can get a leash on one of those, that's awesome.
If you're gonna go endangered. That's what I always say.
Right. All day. So I found this on the marketplace, Matt Bear, and I say to you right now that I'm only sharing the photo, but the lawsuits are going to come. These are 3D printed Thor's hammers. Of course, the Thor from the Marvel, from the comics, and the Chris Hemsworth, which you are trying to model and sculpt your body after.
Mine could be better.
Wow. Shocking.
No, of course I'm kidding. I'm not even serious about that. No.
So,
yes, that's exactly what I'm doing. Very much.
So this guy 3D prints the Thor's hammers. All right, already a Disney Marvel issue. But then on the hammer, he has the logo of NFL teams.
Oh.
On the hammer. So he has decided in one photo, and by the way, he has these displayed very lovingly and professionally on his bed sheets. I don't know, and I'm pretty sure in the picture is like a reel for a fishing pole. I don't know what's happening there in the front, but this is it. It's like there's blankets, and then there's a fleece. Ooh, it's soft. And then there's like an old door, and they've got the hammers on the door, and then some on the bed. I do not know what's going on here. All I know is if you are a copyright lawyer, exactly how much money are you going to get from this guy?
Oh, you're going to get sued back to the Stone Age if you're selling this stuff. I mean, come on. Double whammy. You're going against the ESPN and the NFL. I think you're going to lose this one. You might want to take this down.
This is nuts. That said, these are super cool, and you should buy one before he's shut down.
I was kind of hoping at the top he could get something in there about the NCAA. Maybe the March.
Yeah, I don't see. No, these are all NFL teams.
Oh, okay. I mean, why not go for the trifecta, of copyright violation, and get the whole thing going on.
The real problem is this guy's based in Cincinnati, and he doesn't have one Colts hammer.
Oh, dude.
And the Colts, they do the whole thing with the anvil, so it would make perfect sense.
Oh, I see the Bengals at the very top there. That's
yeah, they got, and they've got Stan. They got the Seahawks and the Chargers and the Dolphins and the Ravens, and there's the Falcons, there's the Broncos, there's the Giants, Steelers. I got to admit, they're very cool.
Not even the 3D printer could handle the Colts mediocrity.
No.
Yeah.
No, they took a look at our quarterback situation and said, are they really an NFL team? No. So they're $30, and the fancy handle, they're $50, and you get a display stand for $5. Matt Bear, are you in for $30 or $50?
I'm so out because I can't afford the lawyer.
Right. But I don't know I think you might be okay. This guy's going to jail.
Going to prison.
Yeah, he's going to prison. He's going to know about the hammer.
Yeah.
He's going.
There's a special. Anyways, yeah.
Just going to leave it there.
Terre Haute, baby.
Just remember, kids are listening.
Pendleton.
Kids are listening. Check it out for yourself. Everything's listed over at WIBC.com. They're on the marketplace. Tony Katz, 93 WIBC. Good morning. The spring selling season has arrived for your home. And the rates and the activity, now is the best time in years to sell your home. But some homes are sitting on the market. Hiring an expert who can maximize equity and minimize hassle is the key. The expert recommended to sell your home is Mark Dietel. Maybe what you're worried about is the costly repairs or upgrades needed to sell your home. Mark Dietel's the only real estate expert trusted and recommended with the sale of your home. Mark Dietel guarantees your home sold at a mutually agreed upon price and deadline, or he will buy it. Just pick your move date. No long-term contracts. You can cancel at any time. Tim and Becky in Bargersville said, we were ready to downsize. We tried the big national instant offer route and got, well, pretty much messed around with because that company canceled the sale a week before closing. We called Mark Dietel to step in and help, and his team delivered big. We had multiple offers in 4 days, and we sold as is for the price we needed. Guys, call the local Indianapolis agent, trusted and recommended, the agent who guarantees your home sold or he'll buy it. Talk to Mark Dietel today. Very, very good guy. You're going to enjoy the conversation. You're going to feel good about this. 317-755-4232. Get all the details or go online to markdietel.com. That's Mark Dietel, D-I-E-T-E-L, markdietel.com.
The agenda is taking shape.
Since Inauguration Day.
From education to energy.
We will drill, baby, drill.
From the economy to the military.
We will again build the strongest military the world has ever seen.
Watch it unfold day by day.
My first day back.
First 100 days.
It's a tough job, but I've had a lot of tough jobs.
Follow the first 100 days on 93 WIBC and WIBC.com.
Meanwhile, at Xfinity.
So, influencer life going well?
Oh, yeah. I'm up to 32 followers.
Oh, that's something.
Yeah. Posting my tap dancing videos is easier than ever because we engineered Xfinity Internet with 99.99% network reliability.
Plus, Xfinity Mobile with Wi-Fi Power Boost gives you ultra-fast Wi-Fi at home and on the go. But wait, tap dancing? You don't tap dance.
Hey, what I lack in skill, I make up with passion.
Do more of what you love and love how fast you do it with Xfinity Internet and mobile. Through June 23rd, get 400 megabit Xfinity Internet with free equipment and unlimited internet data. Plus, get one unlimited 5G mobile line included, all for $40 a month for 1 year. And ask how you can get a free 5G phone. Visit Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Restrictions apply with paperless billing and autopay with stored bank account. Xfinity Internet required. Taxes, fees extra. After 1 year, rate increases to $70 per month. After 2 years, regular rates apply. Actual fees vary and not guaranteed.
Traffic on the 5s and Matt Baer, WIBC Traffic Center. What do we know?
Big time smoke. Wow. Coming down from Madison County to Hamilton County, I'm looking at southbound 69 after State Road 13. And 2 right lanes are blocked because of a vehicle fire. There is black smoke all over the interstate covering both directions of I-69. Please be careful as you move through there. Traffic is backed up from the vehicle fire back to State Road 13 or about a mile. Then inbound 69, stop and go 116th Street to 465. That's a 10-minute delay. Northbound 65 out of the north split. It's a crash. Multiple incidents at Meridian Street. Penn 1 is blocking the left lane and traffic is stop and go back to Rural Slow to Shadeland Avenue. Eastbound 70 stop and go traffic West Street into the south split, then jammed up into the north split because of the crashes mentioned earlier on northbound 65. Traffic sponsored by Sullivan Hardware and Garden. This week at Sullivan Hardware and Garden, see their large selection of grills, Weber, Traeger, and Napoleon, along with the Big Green Egg. I'm Matt Baer with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
47 degrees in the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. The time is 7:46.
Thy ticket, Lady Jennifer of Coolidge.
Well, many thanks, good sir. Here'th my Discover card.
They accept Discover at Renaissance fairs?
Yeah, they do here. Discover is accepted at the places I love to shop. Getteth with the times.
With the times? You're playing the lute.
Yeah, and it sounds pretty good, right?
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report.
Thinning hair? This year, grow your hair back like I did. Call 317-522-2995 or visit WeGrowHairIndy.com.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies with national LTE coverage. Go to rapidradios.com and you'll get up to 60% off, free UPS shipping. Add code RADIO for an additional 5% off.
Turning 65, new to Medicare, or just moved? If you qualify for Medicare and Medicaid, a Humana Dual Eligible Special Needs Plan, a DSNP, may give you the extra benefits you're looking for.
A D-SNP helps cover things like prescriptions and checkups, but it also helps pay for essentials, too. With a Humana D-SNP, you get $225 a month for eligible groceries, rent, utilities, and more. Plus, whatever you don't spend carries over to the next month. You may even get benefits like $0 copays on routine prescriptions, plus routine dental, vision, or hearing coverage. All of this could make a difference for your health and wallet. Learn more at GetHumana.com. Humana, a more human way to healthcare. Humana is a coordinated care HMO SNP plan with a Medicare contract and a contract with the Indiana Medicaid program. Enrollment in any Humana plan depends on contract renewal. Allowance amounts cannot be combined with other benefit allowances. Limitations and restrictions may apply.
The news everyone's talking about. You'll find it at WIBC.com. The latest from City Hall, the White House, or the State House. Updated all day. Don't miss what matters. Stay in the know while you're on the go at WIBC and WIBC.com.
I'll see you guys Thursday. Trump and American Reset in 3 bourbons, and that's what it is. This is a reset. And I think what's key here is that it's not just for Trump. Tony Katz, 93 WIBC, good morning. Good to be with you. Trump and American Reset in 3 bourbons taking place this Thursday in Kokomo. I hope you have your tickets because, well, they're done. They are sold, Kitten, and thrilled about that. And can't thank you guys enough for coming out to Kokomo. To that end, I know some people are like, Tony, I live in Greenwood. I'm not getting to Kokomo. You find me a place on the south side, and I'll do an event there this summer. You find me the place. You find me the place that holds just 100 people. We'll make it intimate. I'll book it today because I have some things I want to do, and I want to make sure we're hitting everybody. And then we've got another event to announce for the fall. We're going to kick off the holiday season, right? Trust me on this. My thanks to Laser Precision Marksmanship Club, laserpmc.com. Learn how to train on a firearm the right way, laserpmc.com. You don't have to spend all that money on ammunition. You can just, use your firearm and use your trigger finger. And next thing you know, you are getting the practice in to make you ready for the situations. Laser Precision Marksmanship Club, whether you want to learn to be a better a shot or whether you just want to have a good time, a non-judgmental atmosphere, which is key. Check them out for yourself. Guys, ladies, all of you, laserpmc.com. Use promo code TonyCatch20 and get your discount. Laserpmc.com. The Tesla vandal here in Indianapolis was arrested. I was happy to see that. The guy who was like, oh, look, someone parked at a Shake Shack. Oh, look, they're driving a Tesla. I guess I'll paint a swastika on it. Guy's name is William Wood. Wood's a very classic last name, right? Very prevalent, very popular last name. He took a paint marker and drew a swastika on this guy's car while he went into Shake Shack. There was ask for help on social media, and someone was like, hey, that's my cousin. So the question is, why did this guy do this? What was his rationale or his reason? And we should be clear that he had no rationale or reason. That's the point. The people engaged in this are simply angry and have no way of controlling their emotions. I've been there. We've all been there. But I never thought to take it out on somebody I didn't know. I never thought to take it out on somebody who wasn't causing me the issue. And the people who are being silent about this, the Indiana Democratic Party, that's a problem. Karen Talley, this is not welcome, by the way, to now being the leader of the Indems. You ran for this. You wanted this. Well, really, the people didn't want Destiny Wells. That's neither here nor there. You should be speaking about this. This isn't what we do. Tell people this isn't what you do. If I take a look at your press releases, you're upset with Aaron Houchin for not doing a town hall. I think that's okay. Hey, do a town hall. You want Congress to fight Trump's tariffs? Sure, go ahead. You're opposed to the property tax proposal. Well, I'm talking to Governor Braun in just a few minutes. Are you telling me you've got nothing about, hey, oh, by the way, don't destroy people's property? That you should be a voice here. Be different than Mike Schmuel. Be different than John Zodi. Be different than your predecessors. Say that this is wrong. These people are unable to control their emotions. I put forth to you that this guy is innocent until proven guilty, but that we've got video evidence. You see him. This is a guy who's not really prepared to deal with the rigors of life. And you understand that it's not just this guy. And that's the point. We have made it okay for people to act out on their emotions as opposed to dealing with their emotions. And that is a violent society, and we keep ginning it up. And when I say we, I don't mean we. Because it isn't we. No one's going to notice that at the Chatterbox, a bartender threatened somebody with a bat. No one's going to notice that we've got people defacing property right here in Indianapolis, and we are still have a silent mayor. We do have the governor's silent on this too. We've got a silent head of the Indiana Democratic Party. Where are the Republicans on this? Why is it always just us? Speak. Be opposed to the basic things. And maybe we can work out the other stuff. Matt Bear has traffic.
Madison County southbound 69 now closed after State Road 13 because of a vehicle fire that poured smoke all over the interstate, and they are still putting it out. It looks like I can't see any fire at the moment here from the camera, but we are stopped past that State Road 13 interchange. Again, all lanes closed. Southbound 69 past State Road 13 because of a vehicle fire. Crash clear. Northbound 65 downtown coming out of the north split, still backed up to Arlington Avenue and eastbound 70 slows from Belmont into the south split because of that earlier crash. And of course, we're slow on northbound 65 70 from the south split up to the north split, and inbound 65 slow in pockets. 38th Kessler down to Meridian Street Penn. Traffic sponsored by Sullivan Hardware and Garden. This week at Sullivan Hardware and Garden, get 30% off all patio furniture, wicker, Berlin Gardens poly, cast aluminum, teak, and more. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Well, given the troubles with the stock market today, your Social Security income becomes a lot more important in retirement. And that's why it's critical you make a smart decision and don't leave any money on the table. Learn how you can squeeze every nickel out of your benefits with a free Social Security analysis from Bill Demery, your retirement guy.
Bill Demery knows Social Security. He's done it for thousands of people, and he's my retirement guy. This analysis tells you how and when you could get the most income from Social Security while considering your taxes, spousal benefits, even your Medicare premiums. So if you've saved more than $200,000 and have not yet filed for Social Security, schedule that free analysis right now by calling Bill Demery. 317-648-5120. 317-648-5120. It's a free analysis. Just call 317-648-5120.
PA Jewelers at the Farmhouse is now open and ready to serve you. Whether you're buying jewelry or selling jewelry, PA Jewelers has got you covered. One-of-a-kind pieces, vintage pieces. Make an appointment, sit down with them in the buy room, and find out how you can get that special piece made just for you. Easy to get to in Brownsburg. See everything they have to offer in a no-pressure environment. PA Jewelers at the Farmhouse, now open in Brownsburg. 317-456-4010. That's 456-4010. Or online at pajewelers.jewelry. pajewelers.jewelry.
Right now, get Lincoln's employee pricing for everyone on most new Lincolns at Tom Roush Lincoln. Get up to $20,000 off select 2024 Lincoln Navigators, up to $8,000 off select 2024 Lincoln Nautilus, or up to $7,000 off select 2024 Lincoln Corsair at Tom Roush Lincoln in Fishers. Navigator MSRP 105,575. Nautilus MSRP 6195. Corsair MSRP 47,820. Offers good through 4/30/2025. Navigators excluded from employee pricing. Subject to credit approval. See dealer for complete offer details.
Big Joe here for your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer, B&W HVAC Plumbing and Electrical.
Summer heat is coming. Will your air conditioner be ready? Don't risk an expensive breakdown. A quick tune-up from B&W catches problems early and keeps your family cool and comfortable. Join thousands of Hoosiers who trust B&W. Call 317-214-0108 or go to bplusw.com today.
B&W HVAC Plumbing and Electrical, your American Standard dealer since 1961.
At Uline, the prevailing opinion is, if you don't live it, you don't believe it. The people at Uline believe in hard work, and they live it by being there 24/7 to answer your call, having 41,000 items in stock, and offering same-day shipping from 12 locations across North America. Business owners, sellers, buyers, shippers, and packers believe it. Uline is the hard-working, dependable source for your shipping and industrial supplies. Visit uline.com.
David was in big trouble with the IRS.
At first, I didn't owe that much, but after this year, it was out of control.
Then David called Get a Tax Lawyer.
Right away, they were like, oh yeah, looks like you're qualified to save.
Get a Tax Lawyer went to work.
Should have called way sooner.
Get a Tax Lawyer has helped thousands like David fight the IRS and get a fresh start.
Call 800-745-3070. That's 800-745-3070.
Ladies, most of us are exhausted and trying to figure out how to do it all. We just want rest. And if we're honest, a good long nap. What if I told you there's a better kind of rest? One that refreshes you and lets you operate out of overflow instead of exhausted leftovers. The Women of Life Church are seeking God and holy rest. Join us on April 26th for our annual women's event. Take a deep breath. Rest is waiting. For more information, go to lifechurchin.com.
Coming up in 2 minutes from the Technology Recyclers Studios, what state police are saying about a high-speed chase and a collision that ended with one person dead. Property tax relief is coming to some homeowners, what political leaders are saying about that. And John Herrick has a report on a new executive order after Fox News. You're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. It is 8 o'clock.
Don't want him? Can't have him. I'm Chris Foster, Fox News. There's a court hearing in Maryland today about a man mistakenly deported, now imprisoned in El Salvador. The Trump administration says it can't force his release. El Salvador's president says he can't send him back.
Attorney General Pam Bondi says a Supreme Court order last week requires the administration only to facilitate, if El Salvador asks, the return of Kilmar Abrego Garcia.
Meaning provide a plane.
In an Oval Office meeting with President Trump and cabinet secretaries, El Salvador's president, Nayib Bukele, says that won't happen.
The question is preposterous. How can I smuggle a terrorist into the United States? I don't have the power to return him to the United States.
An immigration court shielded Abrego Garcia from deportation back to El Salvador. The Trump administration says the migrant was in the U.S. illegally and was a member of the MS-13 gang. Attorneys for Abrego Garcia say he is not a gang member. At the White House, Jared Halpern, Fox News.
Trump administration is freezing more than $2.2 billion in multi-year grants and contracts for Harvard University after the school refuses demands to change school policy, like ending diversity programs and limiting student protests. Other schools have caved and kept the money. President Trump says he wants nuclear talks with Iran sped up. A first round was held in Oman this past weekend, led by Middle East Special Envoy Steve Witkoff here on Fox.
This is going to be much about verification on the enrichment program, and then ultimately verification on weaponization. That includes missiles, the type of missiles that they have stockpiled there, and it includes the trigger for a bomb.
It was reported yesterday the next round would be Saturday in Rome. Iran's foreign ministry says no, negotiators will be back in Oman. The White House Budget Office, in a very preliminary proposal, suggests cutting the State Department's budget by almost half and ending funding for most international organizations like the UN and for NATO headquarters in Belgium. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
One person killed, several others injured on the far east side of Indianapolis. You have a clear radar in downtown Indianapolis where it's 46 degrees. Your high today, 54. I'm Ryan Hedrick. Here's what's trending at 8:02.
Earlier this evening, about 9:16 p.m., the Henry County Sheriff's Office initiated a pursuit in Henry County. That pursuit made its way to I-70 and came west toward Indianapolis.
Indiana State Police Sergeant John Perrine.
There were 3 vehicles involved. The other 2 vehicles that were struck were sitting at the stoplight at Washington and Mithofer. The people inside those vehicles suffered only minor injuries. Again, the one person who is deceased was ejected from the suspect vehicle.
Perrine says following the collision at that intersection, there were guns scattered all across the street, rifles and handguns. State police say they're looking into this. The Marion County Coroner's Office has identified the person killed at the scene as DeJuan Hampton. The governor says he plans to sign the property tax bill that passed out of the Senate early this morning.
Since July, we've been talking about relief. We all are taxpayers in here. Most all of us have seen increases in our residential homestead taxes.
Republican State Senator Scott Baldwin.
So it's no surprise that taxpayers are demanding relief.
And some political leaders say the bill will lower property taxes for homeowners, farmers, and businesses. Governor Mike Braun will join Tony Katz in the morning news coming up in about 12 minutes. Indiana's governor, Mike Braun, says there's not enough of an incentive to get married in Indiana. John Herrick reports on what he's doing about it.
He signed an executive order on Monday to eliminate tax penalties on marriage in the state. Braun says state agencies are directed to evaluate laws and policies that disadvantage married couples and provide recommendations for changes to that by July 1st. For example, a single filer can deduct up to $3,000 in rent, but a married couple filing jointly also only gets $3,000, something Braun says is not right. John Herrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
A Frankfort high school teacher is in trouble over a request that he made on Snapchat, says a Clinton County prosecutor. Chris Davis explains.
The accusation was made by a 17-year-old student against Drew Akridge, a 27-year-old math teacher and assistant varsity football coach. The probable cause document shown to Wish TV says that Akridge sent a Snapchat video of himself and then requested an explicit video in return. The student came forward after a cyber awareness presentation April 4th and was interviewed by police April 11th. Akridge was arrested Monday on 2 low-level felony counts of dissemination of material harmful to a minor and an attempt to possess child pornography. Chris Davis, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
And the WNBA draft was last night. The Fever had 3 picks. One of the picks was Bree Hall. Bree Hall used to play at South Carolina with Aaliyah Boston, who's the current center for the Fever. I'm Ryan Hedrick on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com at 8:05. Traffic on the 5s. Here's Matt Bear.
All right, looking at southbound 69 after State Road 13, this is a vehicle fire blocking 2 right lanes, stopping traffic for about 2 miles. And as we take a look at the camera here, the fire's out and the smoke is gone, so at least the northbound lanes are now able to move mostly up to speed. Some rubbernecking going on southbound lanes. Down to 1 lane, you have that far left lane open, and that is it. It's going to take you a minute. Delay time is at 44 minutes to make that 2-mile stretch before and after State Road 13 on southbound 69. Crash clear out of the north split. Northbound 65 Shive Meridian Penn. Slow traffic to Washington. Stop and go through the south split out to Tibbs Avenue. Westbound 70 slows from the south split to West Street, and westbound 70 stop and go traffic after Shadeland Avenue past Rural because of an earlier crash that has cleared. Traffic sponsored by Rapid Radios. Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com now for 60% off and free UPS shipping. Add code radio and get an extra 5% off. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Tara Hastings, Wish TV meteorologist. What do we know?
Hey, we're going to see really windy conditions for the day today, already seeing these winds gusting at times 30, 35 miles per hour. We'll go with mainly cloudy skies, a little bit of sunshine at times on and off throughout the day today. Could see maybe a spotty shower north and east of Indianapolis, but I think most locations will be dry, but sharply cooler, only up to 55 degrees this afternoon. Down to 37 degrees tonight, patchy frost is possible, but we warm back up here on Wednesday afternoon, sunny near 60 and 65 on Thursday.
That is Tara Hastings of Wish TV. Tara, we appreciate you. Thanks so much. We have got 46 degrees in the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. The time is 8:07.
This hour on 93 WIBC is powered by Damon's Garden Company South on Emerson Avenue.
So the arson suspect in this setting ablaze of the governor's mansion in Pennsylvania, there's a story there. The story that we're being told right now is that this guy's mother knew he was a problem. Tony Katz, 93 WIBC. Good morning. This guy who took gasoline out of his lawnmower, put it into 2 beer bottles, walked an hour to the governor's mansion, scaled the fence, broke into the house with a hammer, possibly a small sledgehammer, then set the house on fire and went looking for a moment for the governor. If he could have found them, he said he would have beaten him with the hammer. Doing this on the first night of Passover. You see the images of him in the cuffs. He's making faces at reporters. He doesn't look like a happy guy. I'll leave it there. But his mother stating that she tried to get police to lock him up prior to the attack, saying that she did everything, reached out to 4 different police departments because she knew he was an issue. Did she know that he was going to go at the governor's mansion? Well, there's some questions there. A lot of questions that are there. For us, the questions are about property taxes. And for me, the questions have been larger. About what is the value of a supermajority? What is the boldness? Where's the bravery? What is the move? When does Indiana set itself as the capital of the Midwest, as I believe Indianapolis should be, yet there is simply no leadership here to make that happen? It should continue to be Chicago. Failing, flailing, falling apart Chicago. It is our moment to seize. We should at least try, or just give it up to Nashville. Hey, what are you going to do? They've got country twang, I tell yous. So I have my issues with the leadership as a whole. On this conversation of property taxes, there is now a bill that has been passed by the Senate. And Mike Braun says he's going to sign it. Is this the property tax bill that everybody wanted? Was that the bill everybody wanted? And if this subject was so important that every single Republican running for office was discussing it with me on video, why was it somehow treated as a giant pain in the butt and something everyone's glad to just get in the rear view? Governor Mike Braun joins us next, scheduled to join us next to discuss it. Keep it here. Tony Katz, 93 WIBC. Good morning.
Are you dealing with foot, knee, hip, or back pain? Well, it sounds like you could use a spring in your step. Hi, this is Phoebe with the Good Feet store, and I've got just the thing to help you spring forward into comfort. Good Feet's unique, patented 3-step arch support system is designed to reduce pressure on your joints to keep you feeling energized all day long, even when you're running on an hour's less sleep. With less pressure on your joints, you'll also experience less pain and discomfort too. When you visit the Good Feet store, we'll take time with you to figure out what you need on your free personalized fitting. You can also take all the time you need to walk in-store to feel the Good Feet difference personalized for your feet, your shoes, and your lifestyle. Most of our customers say they feel relief immediately, and you can too. Make your appointment today at goodfeet.com. Don't just live with the pain. Discover your options and spring into comfort at the Good Feet store. Come in today for your free personalized fitting and test walk. We're in your neighborhood. Visit goodfeet.com to find the location nearest to you.
Matt Bear here for Trajan Wealth in Indiana. Spring means work. The first mow, cleaning the gutters, planting. Make sure to add refreshing your financial portfolio to the list. My friends at Trajan Wealth, the money management professionals, can provide that much needed refreshing. Matt Bear here. Hey, Trajan Wealth is Hoosier to the core with principles like smart money management and hard work at their foundation. Call for your first consultation. It's free, 317-480-4040, or visit TrajanWealth.com. Trajan Wealth, your fiduciary advisors, are ready to customize a portfolio that reflects your timeline and your hopes and dreams. Call and schedule a consultation at 317-480-4040 or visit TrajanWealth.com. Remember, your first appointment is on them. Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, and SEC registered investment advisor. Paid advertisement.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation and a regular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduced stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop taking prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. It may increase your stroke risk. Eliquis can cause serious and in rare cases fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or take longer for bleeding to stop. A spinal injection while on Eliquis increases risk of blood clots, which may cause paralysis, the inability to move. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding, unusual bruising, or tingling, numbness, or muscle weakness. Medications such as aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners may increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
Everyone's talking about Galaxy Concrete Coating and their transformation, like your neighbor Mike.
Well, the local company that we used first was highly recommended by people in our neighborhood. We did not know until after it didn't work on our floor. It just healed up like a cheap suit. And so my wife says, we got to do something. And so she started looking around on the internet and she found Galaxy.
Lots of styles to choose from, 4 times stronger than epoxy, and it comes with a lifetime warranty.
We got Galaxy out here. They got here at about 8 o'clock in the morning and they finished up at 6 o'clock that night. Other than having a beautiful garage floor, you couldn't tell they were here. Just did a wonderful job on it.
Galaxy Concrete Coatings works for any area like patios, garage floors, driveways, and around pools.
Still looks fantastic, and anybody that visits our house, that's all they want to talk about. I mean, they just can't believe how nice the garage floor looks.
Click on GalaxyConcreteCoatings.com and remember to like us on Facebook, GalaxyConcreteCoatings.com. We are out of this world.
Traffic on the 5s, and Matt Bear, what are you doing?
Looking at southbound 69 Madison County, it is a vehicle fire that has closed 2 right lanes and caused a heck of a backup here. We are stopped for about 2.5 miles right now. This delay's definitely stretching past the State Road 13 interchange. Again, it's a vehicle fire. Southbound 69 after State Road 13, blocking 2 right lanes. Crash on the east side, it's westbound 70 after Arlington Avenue on the approach to Emerson on the right shoulder. Stop-and-go traffic to Shadeland. Eastbound 70 pockets of stop-and-go traffic from Holt Road into the South Split. Traffic sponsored by Rapid Radios. Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com now for 60% off and free UPS shipping at code radio and get an extra 5% off. I'm Matt Bear on the 5s at WIBC Traffic.
46 degrees in the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. The time is 8:16. Hoosiers, it reads. Last night, we delivered on nearly $1.5 billion in property tax cuts. Nearly every homeowner, farmer, and business owner benefits from tax cuts, reforms, and stronger taxpayer protections. And Governor Braun, writing that, puts out a list of taxpayer wins. If you follow him on the Twitter X, on the Twitix, at GovBraun, B-R-A-U-N, you will see it there. He continued, this is historic property tax relief. Senate Bill 1 cuts property taxes for most Hoosier homeowners, farmers, and businesses, limits future tax hikes, and makes the tax system fairer, more transparent, and easier to understand. But it did that after a lot of negotiation that seems to change the original plan that was put out for tax relief. Tony Katz, good to be with you. Governor Mike Braun joins us right now, the governor of the state of Indiana. I want to discuss the property taxes with you, and we're going to get there. But I want to start with this event that you're doing today, talking about making Indiana healthy again. You're bringing out Robert F. Kennedy Jr., the Secretary of Health and Human Services. You're bringing out Dr. Mehmet Oz, who I'm assuming has some good old Oprah swag for you, from the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services. What is this announcement that's coming with the Secretary and the doctor?
So, Tony, that is one of the benefits of, I guess, the 6 years that I spent there and was there while the Trump administration was trying to take on healthcare issues. And, of course, most of those executive orders got immediately taken to the courts by big hospitals and insurance companies and a lot of what I call establishment healthcare. And I've always been interested in it. And without going into any detail, took it on 17 years ago in my own business when sick and tired of hearing how lucky I was. My insurance was only going up 5 to 10%. Rebuilt the system around becoming the insurance company as a cost center, and then completely redirected it towards wellness and prevention and getting my own employees engaged as healthcare consumers. To me, that's what I see RFK and Dr. Oz and the approach of the Trump administration. The reason they're coming in is because of all the work I put in as a senator, culminating in getting a guy like Bernie Sanders to sponsor a bill with me on transparency and competition to change the structure of it. But until we get underneath the structure and start getting people to manage their own well-being, we're not going to really get far ahead. We'll still be trying to remediate expensively stuff that we can prevent.
Well, I'm not a guy who disagrees, Governor. Allow me to interrupt. I'm not a guy who disagrees that people should be in charge of their own health care. But certainly Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s history is not about that. It's much more about a collective approach. But his attack point and the reason people like him in this position is because of removing food dyes and talking about healthier foods and things like that. Is that what he's coming to talk about in Indiana? Or is this about some new approach that Indiana is going to take to health care as a whole?
We're going to talk about the stuff they're wanting to do, all of which mirrors stuff I'm interested in. When it comes to the quality of our food, which much of it's highly processed, much of it has stuff in it we do not want in it, we got to change it. So I'm in sync with him on that. And then I also use it as a platform to talk about reform throughout the healthcare system that is expensive remediation for the lack of some of the things that he's talking about, I'm talking about on the wellness and prevention side. So it blends in well with what I've always understood healthcare to be, more prevention and wellness than expensive remediation. And he's going to be talking about where they're coming from through the administration, which dovetails with what I want to do here in Indiana. So it's a win-win in that respect.
Are you looking to make changes, talking to the governor of Indiana, Mike Braun, are you looking to make changes via executive order, or are you asking the General Assembly to engage legislation regarding a healthier Indiana?
Obviously, legislation, when we get to the next topic here in a moment, you can see how difficult that is and what the margin to spare can be. So I'll put executive orders out there, Tony, to set the stage for what I think is important, and then obviously try to get it in legislation so it doesn't dissipate by the time the next governor comes around, just like I'll try to do with how I reorganize state government into a cabinet system. And that could easily flex back to something that wasn't responsive, not agile, not looking at doing things that need to be done because it was structured poorly. So yes, EOs first, if necessary, and then legislation, ideally, once you articulate the idea.
Talking to the governor of Indiana, Mike Braun, let us talk property taxes. When the primaries were going on and there were a multiplicity of people running for governor, I sat down with everybody for about an hour. in the Urban One studios there at 40 Monument Circle. And we discussed a whole range of issues. And to a person, property taxes came up. Property taxes were an issue. Property taxes were too high. You put forth a plan after winning and being inaugurated. And what we see now, something that you are saying in social media that you will sign, is not what was put out there in the ether. Why should Hoosiers be okay with this new adopted SB1 that was just passed in the early morning hours today?
Excellent question, because when you run on something like that and you put a bogey out there in terms of what you'd like to do, I've been 9 years a legislator and know how that works. 3 years in the State House, 6 out in D.C., you're going to start in a place to hopefully end up where you're getting everything you'd want, but knowing that you got to go through the process of legislation. And obviously, there were voices out there, one of your own and Rob Kendall, that made it a big deal. I've aligned with it because I heard it over 1 or 2 years, but that was something that still disappointed me because they said SB1 and then had my bill template in it, and then immediately started listening to vested interests in terms of local governments and school boards, and put it into a shell of what it was. So we were starting from scratch.
Do you feel that those school boards, those local interests were wrong?
What's that?
Do you feel those school boards, those local interests, talking about we can't handle these cuts, we don't deserve these cuts, we'll have to raise taxes, do you think they were wrong?
I do, because I think they were through a period where they were able to take the federal largesse, weave it in, some of them on a habitual basis rather than a one-off. And when you look at how much state government grew, along with some local jurisdictions, not all, about a third of them were responsible. They'll have less to get used to now that we're back in not growing the government more than the economy grows, which I've always said should be the measurement. So I think they took their lobbyists, they stoked up fears that you weren't going to be able to do the basics of education and local government services, and erred on that side. And that is why I think SB1 got gutted, because there weren't enough people showing up at their local meetings, the school board meetings, and city councils and county councils and commissioners. Now going forward with what we've gained here, that's where the focus needs to be in terms of complaining if you're fed up with what your locals are doing. We can't do a state government fix to take care of a local issue. This is a great start, though.
Allow me. You say it's a great start. Now we can do this. You referred to these local officials and mayors, et cetera, as they. You referred to SB1 just now as being gutted. And then you have said you're going to sign this. The question
Not
is
gutted,
why?
No, gutted when it came out of the gate, Tony. We've added back a lot once it left the Senate and went to the House. There's no way that bill in its form was going to be acceptable to anyone. We added the House getting involved into it, and Jeff Thompson took a lot of heat for some of the minutia and detail in it. And if you look at every aspect of it, it does things gradually over time that creates more transparency, more deductions, more things that take us into a place that it's going to be better. But no, and we took that and increased the credit that you can apply to your 26 bill from, it was 0 coming out of the Senate, it was 7.5% coming out of the House. We got it up to 10 and raised the cap from 2 to 300, and then put all the other stuff in it that's going to make it better year after year. And then if we want to do more, like eliminating it to some extent, I agree 100% that once you get it to a certain age and you paid off your mortgage, why should you be paying a property tax bill that's like a second mortgage?
Is that in this legislation? Is that in what just passed in the early morning hours, sir?
It isn't. Those are the things that we need to aspire to once we bank this. And the
Can
fact
you explain
that
can you explain to us, sir? And I appreciate you allowing me to interrupt you here and push back. Talking to
Sure.
the governor of Indiana, Mike Braun. Why didn't the Senate think that eliminating property taxes for seniors or people who've already paid off their mortgage, why didn't they think that was important enough right now to do?
Because we won by 2 votes to spare, Tony. That's how close it was. And they were listening.
That's my next question.
They were listening all along too much to their local governments and school boards and the lobbyists representing them. And it was a hell of an effort to get it to where the House had it. And in those last few days, had the House not moved it up to a 10% credit for everyone and these other things that we've woven into it, that is where I probably wouldn't have been for the final product. But we got a lot over the finish line in the last 2 to 3 days, which was basically late last week. That's how long it took to get from where they hollowed it out to where the House took it up into where we got a product that is a foundation to build upon at the start of what we do with property taxes and taxes in general.
I think the issue there, sir, is that if this had been approached as we need a foundational start and something to build on, I think that argument would really work for people. But this started as we have to fix this thing. And this is all I'm hearing on the campaign trail. And what the people see is a half measure. And so there certainly is a contingent. And that contingent does indeed have voice, and they exist in all 92 counties. If it's not what you were talking about, if it's not what's needed, why not veto the thing? Call the special session. Let's go.
Well, because in a state like Indiana, your veto means nothing other than symbolic, and there's no guarantee that you get anything out of it because you can override it with a simple majority, and a special session can be
This just
gavelled
passed by
in
2
and out.
votes. Your words. Why are you sure they would override you, sir?
No, because when you win by just 2 votes, how do you think that would work if you actually vetoed it? So you can make that point. I respect it. All I can tell you is that going forward, we're looking for other things we can do. And if we want to get more through the grassroots for people that want more, show up at your local school board meetings and local government meetings, or otherwise you'd run into the same dynamic that I ran into with the Senate listening too much to that. That's why they took SB 1 in its original form and then hollowed it out, and then we got it back to where it's acceptable as a building block. And I will sign it based upon that, but it's the start of it, not the end.
So you will be signing it. That's definitely happening.
I will be signing it, yes.
Governor Mike Braun, I appreciate taking the time to be with us. We went a little bit over time. I appreciate you sticking around. We will talk again, sir. Enjoy Secretary Kennedy later today. An abridged traffic map error. I apologize for the delay. I hope everybody appreciates it. This full interview will be available at WIBC.com in just a little bit. Map errors traffic.
Southbound 69 Madison County. This is a vehicle fire blocking 2 right lanes and stopping traffic for about 2.5 miles past it, the State Road 13 interchange. Again, southbound 69 has reopened, but with 2 right lanes blocked. Westbound 74 to Brownsburg, that's a stall blocking the right lane before Dandy Trail, backed up to 465. Crash east side, westbound 70 after Arlington Avenue, blocking the shoulder, causing stop traffic back to Shadeland Avenue. And a crash eastbound 16th Street on the approach to Lafayette Road, Pershing. Multiple vehicles involved. Please stay clear of that. Traffic sponsored by Sullivan Hardware and Garden. This week at Sullivan Hardware and Garden, see their large selection of grills, Weber, Traeger, and Napoleon, along with the Big Green Egg. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
What the governor is saying about property tax relief. You have a cloudy sky and it's 46 degrees in downtown Indianapolis. Your high today, 54. I'm Ryan Hedrick. Here's what's trending at 8:31.
It was 0 coming out of the Senate. It was 7.5% coming out of the House. We got it up to 10 and raised the cap from 2 to 300, and then put all the other stuff in it that's going to make it better year after year.
That's Governor Mike Braun speaking with Tony Katz in the morning news just minutes ago about the property tax bill that passed out of the Senate by a vote of 27 to 22.
Something that still disappointed me, because they said SB1 and then had my bill template in it, and then immediately started listening to vested interests.
And Governor Braun says he plans to sign the bill. A crash this last night that killed a man, and Indiana State Police say they're looking into it.
Earlier this evening, about 9:16 p.m., the Henry County Sheriff's Office initiated a pursuit in Henry County. That pursuit made its way to I-70 and came west toward Indianapolis.
That's Indiana State Police Sergeant John Perrine. He says the person killed at the scene. There were a lot of guns and rifles scattered across the pavement. State police are still looking into this. The Marion County Coroner's Office just identified that man as DeJuan Hampton. President Trump says he is downplaying concerns about how tariffs could affect the U.S. economy and is placing the blame on China for growing trade tensions.
Part of the reason why we're in this spot originally is because China had decades of unfair trade practices. They limited our market access, and they took our jobs. They stole our technology.
That's Jamison Greer, U.S. Trade Representative, speaking with Fox News this morning. Felony charges have been filed against a 27-year-old math teacher named Drew Akridge, and he's an assistant football coach at Frankfort High School. Chris Davis has the story.
It's an accusation that he attempted to have an inappropriate relationship with a 17-year-old student over Snapchat, sending her a video of himself and then requesting one back, according to the Clinton County prosecutor. The girl was 17 at the time. She reported that to another teacher after the school had a presentation on cyber awareness. Sunday, the school said Akridge was on administrative leave pending the possible termination of his contract. He's also been charged with 2 low-level felonies. Chris Davis, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
Sports on WIBC, brought to you by Ball State Athletics. Visit ballstatesports.com. One of the advantages that the Indiana Pacers think they have once the playoffs start is their depth. Head coach Rick Carlisle says a perfect example of that came on Sunday against Cleveland when the reserves powered a 27-point comeback win.
And we're going to need every bit of help that we can get. We're excited for the challenge of the playoffs, but we have work to do this week.
And the Pacers played the Milwaukee Bucks in the first round in the first game Saturday afternoon at 1 o'clock right here downtown at Gainbridge Fieldhouse. The Bucks won 3 of 4 during the regular season. Both games in Milwaukee. They won a matchup in Indianapolis as well. The Indiana Fever picked 3 players in last night's WNBA draft, including one who won a national title right alongside Aaliyah Boston, who currently plays for the Fever.
The Fever select Bree Hall, South Carolina.
And Boston shared the enthusiasm on X, posting "It's a big, breezy reunion." I'm Ryan Hedrick on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com. At 8:35, traffic on the 5s. Here's Matt Baer.
Southbound 69 Madison County vehicle fire cleanup continues after State Road 13 and blocks 2 right lanes, with traffic stopped for about 2.5 miles. And the delay definitely passed State Road 13. Now inbound 69, stop and go after 106th Street, 282nd. Heading to Brownsburg, westbound as 74. That is a stall before Dandy Trail, blocking the right lane, causing stop-and-go traffic back to 465. It's a crash eastbound 16th Street approaching Lafayette Road. The right lane is blocked and traffic is jammed to Kessler. Westbound 70 out of the south split, stop-and-go traffic to Meridian, Illinois. East side crash, westbound 70 shy of Emerson Avenue. It's on the shoulder, stop-and-go traffic back to 465. And on the southeast side, northbound 465, that's a car candle at South Shadeland Avenue on the shoulder, slowing us past 74. Traffic sponsored by Sullivan Hardware and Garden. This week at Sullivan Hardware and Garden, see their large selection of grills, Weber, Traeger, and Napoleon, along with the Big Green Egg. I'm Matt Baer on the 5s at WIBC Traffic.
46 degrees in the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. The time right now is 8:36.
The Attorney General's Office, reuniting Hoosiers with over $1 million in unclaimed property every week. Visit indianaunclaimed.gov or text money to 46220 today.
You need a tree, you need Circle City trees. It's really that easy because when you realize, hey, we could use some shade for the back patio, or we need some space, some separation, some privacy from that neighbor, you're talking about something that you want to last, and you don't want to necessarily wait for it to have to grow. A full line of mature trees, ones that thrive in Indiana at Circle City Trees in Zionsville, circlecitytrees.com. Shade trees, ornamentals, evergreens, fruit trees, flowering trees, everything you need or could want to make your home look beautiful and to give you those things that you need. It's part, you're doing the landscaping work. You're rethinking how the house should feel. It actually sets a personality for the house. Head on over there. Go to Circle City Trees. They're in Zionsville, and take a look at everything they have to offer. Find the tree that matches you. Yeah, you've got weird quirks, right? Well, there are weird quirk trees that match you, and you're like, you know what? That'll be perfect. It's a weird shape. It's got a weird place. We've got a weird place for it. It'll be perfect. Talk to Circle City Trees. Find out how easy it is to work with them and how they handle the installation, the mulching, and a 1-year warranty. They take care of everything. Circle City Trees, 317-768-3005. 317-768-3005. 768-3005 or online at circlecitytrees.com.
Spring has sprung and Indiana's floodgates have opened, meaning everything is growing, including your roots. Underground root growth knows no bounds and can wreak havoc on your sewer system, causing potential damage to your home. My friends at Hope Plumbing want to help you stay ahead of the rain by offering $300 off any sewer repair or replacement. This offer excludes drain cleanings. Call Hope Plumbing at 641-HOPE or visit them online at hopeplumbing.com and stay dry this spring.
Thy ticket, Lady Jennifer of Coolidge.
Well, many thanks, good sir. Here'th my Discover card.
They accept Discover at Renaissance fairs?
Yeah, they do here. Discover is accepted at the places I love to shop. Getteth with the times.
With the times? You're playing the lute.
Yeah, and it sounds pretty good, right?
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen Report.
Help DEA keep our community safe and healthy by participating in National Prescription Drug Take-Back Day, Saturday, April 26th. Take action right in your own home by cleaning out your medicine cabinet of unneeded medications. Keep them safe, clean them out, take them back. Find a collection site near you at DEATakeback.com. Do your part to lower overdose deaths and prevent prescription drug misuse before it starts. That's DEATakeback.com.
Hi, this is Chris Cox, owner of Chimney Solutions, Indiana. We're celebrating our 10th year in business. Call this month to take advantage of 10% off all chimney sweeps and inspections. We're also celebrating the opening of our new fireplace showroom on 86th Street and Lafayette Road. Come and experience our exclusive lines of wood-burning and gas fireplaces.
Call 317-757-6979 or chimneyindy.com. This week at Sullivan Hardware and Garden, see their large selection of grills, Weber, Traeger, and Napoleon, along with the Big Green Egg.
How bad is it? Don't sugarcoat it. Give it to me straight. Want coffee?
I think I need some coffee.
Time to fill up on the news. Tony Katz, 93 WIBC. Good morning. Huh? People have thoughts about the interview with Governor Braun. I'll get to that. Dow futures down 153. NASDAQ futures up 67. It did close up yesterday. So the little bit of down is not that big compared to where things have been in the fluctuations. Oil prices down a little, $60.96 on the West Texas crude. Brent crude, $64.30. Slight from where we discussed it yesterday. And the 10-year Treasury, which is the conversation, 4.38. That's putting 30-year fixed at 7%. Absolutely not where the president wants to be. There is this constant talk about recession. Trump's leading us to recession. Maybe it's worse than that. And I will not accept any recession conversation without a recognition that what Joe Biden did to this country for the last 4 years is not only horrific, but the problem. The fundamental flaw. The idea that this Trump in 2 months, stop being silly. I oppose tariffs. But good Lord, I won't have that conversation. No. As for what we just heard from the governor regarding property taxes, I think there's a lot to take in here. A tremendous amount to take in, and I want to do that. We will do that on the other side. We'll find which TV theme song producer Carl's decided to play, and then we'll go from there. Just that easy. Tony Katz, stick around. Honestly, trust me on this one. Tony Katz, 93 WIBC. Good morning. Your next roof is Moss Roofing, MOSS, mossroofing.com. As a matter of fact, it's not that you know you need a roof. It's when you don't know if you need a new roof. Because you don't know who to trust. You don't know who to go to. You don't know what it is that you're looking for. When you're looking at it from the ground, you're like, well, it looks fine to me. You don't know what it looks like. That's why you need Moss Roofing. That's why you need this family-owned business on its second generation. Getting up there, taking a look for the issues. We've had a tremendous amount of storms. That can lead to leaks. That can lead to mold and rot and very expensive structural damage. Moss Roofing knows what to look for. Moss Roofing is the group to tell you, hey, here's where the issue is. Hey, we can just repair this. Or, hey, here's where the issue is. We need to replace this, and here are all of your options. And here's the whole design so you can see what it's going to look like when it's done. Moss Roofing, a family-owned business right here in central Indiana with over 35 years of experience. Talk to them today. You're in good hands. Moss Roofing, 317-747-3665. Tell them Tony Katz sent you. 317-747-3665. Moss Roofing, 747-3665, or online at Moss, MOSS, mossroofing.com.
Pat Sullivan here for Gutter Helmet. Spring is here. Are you still putting screens on your gutters? You know, if the holes are too big, debris gets in, and you're still cleaning your gutters. If the holes are too small, it sits on top, and now you're cleaning the screens. I have Gutter Helmet on my home, and it has no holes, slots, or screens. It keeps the debris out and the water in. Since 1981, Gutter Helmet has been America's #1 choice for gutter protection. Right now, Gutter Helmet is offering a 17% discount plus 12 months, no interest financing if paid in full within 12 months. Call 800-5HELMET, that's 800-5HELMET, to schedule a free estimate. 17% off is good through April. Restrictions apply and cannot be combined with other offers. Call Gutter Helmet today at 800-5HELMET. That's 800-5HELMET, or gutterhelmetindy.com, and never clean your gutters again.
Traffic on the 5s. Matthew Bear, what's going on?
Southbound 69 in Madison County. Vehicle fire cleanup continues after State Road 13. The right lane shut down. Traffic stop and go past State Road 13 for about 2 miles. East side crash westbound 70 at Arlington Avenue. That's between Shadeland and Emerson on the shoulder, and jam traffic back to 465. Westbound 70 stop and go through the north split to Meridian Penn. Eastbound 70 slow into the south split and drags a little bit up to the north split. Going to Brownsburg, westbound 74 before Dandy Trail. Stall blocking the right lane and traffic loaded back to 465. Eastbound 16th Street at Pershing Lafayette. That is a crash blocking the right lane. Eastbound lane's backed up to Kessler. Traffic sponsored by Sullivan Hardware and Garden. This week at Sullivan Hardware and Garden, see their large selection of grills, Weber, Traeger, and Napoleon, along with the Big Green Egg. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
46 degrees in the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. The time is 8:46.
Hi, I'm Charlie Comer, owner of Comer & Cross Concrete Floors. If you're even thinking about a new garage floor, I promise you will love your new Comer & Cross garage floor more than any home improvement you do. Every single day for years to come. That's why so many builders use Comer & Cross. And Comer & Cross patios look way better than a new one at a fraction of the cost. Comer & Cross garage floors and patios are the gold standard, guaranteed to never chip, crack, or show tire lift like epoxy or paint ever. And we make it so easy. We are all courteous uniform pros. We have the equipment and know-how to fix your concrete perfectly before applying your gleaming, new, proprietary Comer & Cross finish. We even take your stuff out for you. For your quick and easy, no sales pressure estimate, please call us right now at 1-800-NEW-FLOOR. That's 1-800-NEW-FLOOR. Or go to comercross.com.
Whether your Easter plans have you stepping out on Sunday or hosting a group at home, Macy's Easter sale has great deals on everything you'll need to celebrate, like 50% off dressy brunch looks to level up your whole family style, and 50 to 60% off hosting must-haves, like the classic Butterfly Meadow collection from Lenox. But don't miss out, because just like an Easter egg hunt, there's so much to discover, but you gotta move quick. At Macy's Easter sale, Wednesday. Savings off already reduced prices. Exclusions apply.
Think of it as WIBC on 2x speed. Big opinions, great moments, and just enough chaos. The WIBC Mashup Podcast brings it all together in one fast, fun listen. New episode each weekday. Subscribe wherever you get your podcast.
There are 31 letters in the white alphabet. That is amongst one of the great lines from Tracy Morgan in 30 Rock. It's time to play America's favorite game, What the Heck Is That TV Theme Song? Here is how we play. Producer Carl chooses a television theme song. I have to guess what it is. This one was too easy. What's fascinating is when 30 Rock came out, it came out against a show from Aaron Sorkin. So both shows were about basically a takeoff of Saturday Night Live, a more, one dramatic version, one funny version. It was called Studio 60 on the Sunset Strip. It didn't last a season. And it had Bradley Whitford and had Josh Malina. And while I'm not a fan of Sorkin's politics, I love his writing style. And I was excited about it. It didn't last. It's like Sports Night, which was one of the best shows on TV, also didn't last. In between was something called The West Wing, which, again, the politics, but the writing and the movement, art, truly. Yet when this was coming out, this was the hyped show, Studio 60 on the Sunset Strip. And 30 Rock by Tina Fey was the show's like, oh, and then there's that. And that was the monster. That was the monster. The Jack Donaghy character, I don't care what you think about Alec Baldwin, character was unbelievable. And Tracy Morgan was, I believe there are 31 letters in the white alphabet. Still one of the great lines I've ever heard. We play this every day at this time. What the heck is that TV theme song? Sponsorships now available. I'm Tony Katz, 93 WIBC. Good morning. And you may have heard my interview with Governor Mike Braun, where the conversation, by the way, I said Josh Malina in Studio 60 on Sunset Strip. It was Matthew Perry, the late Matthew Perry. The conversation with Governor Braun, it kind of fascinating, because he went down a road that I don't think he had discussed with anybody. I am not sure that he ever said this anywhere, that the plan was to, I guess, go in a Trumpian direction. Say, hey, this is what I want on property tax relief, or SB1, right? This is what I'm looking to do. And then knowing that the Senate and local municipalities and school boards, they'd gut the thing, and then we'd work things back into it, and it would be a good compromise bill. Now, we can argue, and we should, that politics is indeed compromise. 150% it is. But I had not heard Governor Braun engage in that way before. And I think for a lot of people, and I think the Braun team should know this, man, that hit all the wrong way. because that's not what was sold. This is a problem and it needs to be fixed. That's what was sold. And not just by Braun. Every Republican running for office, every Republican running for governor, I did the interviews, stated this. And there was no, well, we'll try for that and we'll see what we can get over here, right? We'll try and do this, but we'll deal with our reality over here. You're always dealing with your reality. The bill, which will become law, is going to reduce some things for some people. It is going to give municipalities the ability to raise taxes. I'm surprised that people were not prepared for that. And yes, I believe that people can, if they want to, move. And I got someone who emailed me and said, I disagree with you, Tony. It's just not that easy to move. I'm not saying no. I think that's a fine point to make. And I hear you. I'm saying, though, that's where the option is, as opposed to something statewide. You can go to a municipality that has less taxes, and you can fight those taxes, which I also favor, right? I favor anything that isn't draconian from the state down in an oppressive way, but rather something you can decide on a city-by-city basis. But that is also not how it was presented, is it? And I find that there are people who want to say, well, that's just, rabble-rousers making noise. Maybe some. But this is what you campaigned on, and this is not what was delivered. Just for clarity's sake, don't get angry when people notice. This goes to a larger problem, which is about boldness in this Republican Party. Oh, this is really sound good governance? Couldn't it have been sounder? Couldn't it have been, wait for it, gooder? I used gooder. It's funny because it's not a word. We're going to discuss. But I'm telling you right now, you are already seeing this interview move its way through the state. This is not what was promised by any candidate for governor on the Republican side. Not at all. This, well, we'll go for this and they'll cut it down and we'll try and get it. That's not what was promised to the people. And that's something that the Braun team is going to have to deal with. Republicans as well. We'll see if they do. Matt Baer, he's got a traffic. Kendall and Casey, you're up next. I'll catch you guys at noon.
Southbound 69 Madison County vehicle fire cleanup continues. After State Road 13, two right lanes closed, only the left lane available for travel, and we have a delay reaching about 2 miles. Looking at westbound 70 slow after rural through the north split out to Meridian Penn. Brownsburg, westbound 74, heading to Brownsburg, I should say. Shy of Dandy Trail, westbound 74. This is going to be the right lane block because of a stall. Traffic stop and go back to 465. And then looking at eastbound 16th Street at Lafayette Road, crash, and that's blocking the right lane, causing a slowdown.